Yell stop if you can't take it anymore. We're viewing this through a certain streamer called Malcolm, and we're in the first 30 seconds, so I'm not saying the rest of his title. You'll see it later.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Enter the lion. Weighing in at 715 pounds without clothing is the alpha lion who is afraid of the shower Lio Convoy.
Originally, I was thinking of just doing this call because it has a certain section, but if anyone out there wants to see someone shit on Lio Convoy, it's not going to be me mostly. It's going to be this guy here.
Okay.
He's even a little bit soy for you soyoids out there. Okay.
Give him the chair!
It's okay, Sonny. I've got this one. Sasu, you are being robbed.
Okay, so quick context. No one knows who the fuck this guy is. There was a doc. He doesn't make it into the ACC lore entirely, but there's several things that come out of this that I want to go over. I don't know why Malcolm here wanted to go over it, besides giving Lio shit. So,
is this a more recent video or is this an older video?
This is about a stream from 2 months ago off of a video someone put together. They're just constant, these Senate calls. Well, this isn't a Senate call. This is the after Senate call.
Yeah,
this is the Lion's Den. For anyone who missed the context, I have something I'm going to go over. I think it's a good primer for anyone wanting to get into this autism who doesn't know about it already. But yeah, let's get into bit of this.
Your actions. People do not owe you silence over how you have affected them or your actions. You have the right to change. You have the right to grow. People, you do not have the right to demand silence about your actions. People you affected at all. Because you know what? I'll play a little bit of my hand here.
Hang on, what did I miss? Sorry, hang on.
You have the right to change. You have the right to grow. People,
you have the right to remain silent unless you're Lio and against him.
Not have the right to demand silence about your actions. People you affected.
Like, look at this.
At all.
Did he say, sweetie, don't worry? Did I miss that?
Oh, God.
You are being robbed because of your actions.
Wait, hang on. Fuck me. Hang on.
Yes.
Hang on. If I missed
that, it doesn't do good to me. It doesn't do good to my family. It doesn't do good to anybody that I'm trying to affiliate with. I mean, that's just on top of all the stuff that I had to endure the first time. This is just adding salt to the wound. That's all I'm trying to say at this point.
Then let me interject.
Oh, sorry.
Just a moment. It's okay, Sonny. I've got this one. Sasu?
Okay, Sonny, I've got this one. Settle down, kitten. Daddy's here. Please. Don't worry.
Okay. That's enough the context for that. Let's get into the sort of parts. I did not review this properly enough. So what do you think so far? And introduce yourself.
Wargaming Dad. I do a lot of slop drama content based around gaming and all sorts of different gaming stuff. Recently, today, I've been going at it with D&D people online. But when it comes to Lio Convoy, I know a little bit. Like, I've watched videos on him before, and so I know a little bit about the Senate. I don't know all the shitters that are all around it. Like, I was trying to listen to you and Beckett talk about it, and y'all are calling out like this shitter and that shitter and that shitter and that shitter. I'm like, I have no idea who that is.
Yeah,
but
the details aren't important. Just a really hyper-focused particular issue here. I'm sort of stringing together. This is because everyone's saying Lio Convoy is changing. They want to listen and believe, but here the significance of this call is he talks about how he's taken accountability. I'll give my thoughts on it. Really should have went with the actual original call, but I want to give people a sample of goddamn Malcolm here. He say everything. He's super over the top and hyperbolic. I think he does satire rather well in a stream, so that's why I sort of want to highlight this. It's not going to come up here. And also, Malcolm, if you come across this, you're not going to offend fucking Lio Convoy, Lion Man Bad, by saying Catholics, because I'm pretty sure Lio is one of those people who really hate Catholics, one of those Christians who think Catholics are like heretics, heathens.
Because you know what? I'm going to play a little bit of my hand here. You know the Rosa call's been
Did he
circulating.
say a little bit of Mein Kampf? Hang on now.
Oh God,
Because you know what?
I like it.
I'm gonna play a little bit of my hand here.
No,
Oh my! They just said I'm gonna play
Oh.
a little bit of Mein Kampf right here. I was like, hold the fucking phone. What did we say? What did he say?
love funny hearing.
You know the Rosa call's been circulating. And you know what I've done? I've eaten it. I take the credit.
That's not fucking true at all.
Yep.
Literally, this time last year, he was on a call with fucking Stardust being like, yeah, I mean, it was bad, but like, how was I supposed to know that she was disabled? Like, how was I supposed to know? And then Stardust was like, she said multiple times she was disabled. And he's like, well, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Hang on, because Stardust still has this VOD, doesn't she? I don't know. She rebranded or fucking. Why does
Stardust reference.
Oh, so what? Streaming like a year. Easy.
Okay, I'm gonna bounce around. You got something to say? Why I bounced forward so far? The Rosa Claw.
I don't
That's
watch
really
a lot
what-
of.
Okay, that's fair.
What's her face? But yeah, I don't watch a lot of her. I didn't realize she talked to
No.
Lio. I may have missed any other shitters watching it at the time.
Don't feel
Let's
bad
hear.
about that. Don't feel bad about that. Additional context for everyone.
You didn't apologize for calling her a slut hole. You didn't apologize for calling her a
slut
whore.
hole.
You didn't apologize for.
Honorable mention, slut hole. Let's go. Best insult.
And for the record, all of this stuff. Why the fuck? Yeah, insult her. The problem with Rosa is she needed a handler. Okay. I think this is the least of their problems, the names they called her. It's more the treatment of how they treated her. Yes, there's the other stuff I don't want to go into. But yeah, I'm just like, oh, slut hole.
All I've ever heard. Jesus.
Threatening to call her mom. You didn't apologize for.
Threatening to call her mom
beforehand that she had all of these conditions and still continuing to let people call her retarded.
Why is this audio so ass? What the fuck?
Yeah,
And
that's,
letting
Stardust, because it's Stardust, Malcolm.
yeah, because it's Stardust, and she's being a little soy on it. So this is the girl that he threatened to call the parents on. He was like
The
blackmailing
Rosa.
her with the Rosa.
And he has a history of it. Okay, complete and utter history
yeah.
of calling these younger people's parents because he's the daddy Lio. Oh, fucking hell.
His adopted kids.
Yeah, weird ass shit. Okay, and I have some lore to drop at certain segments, so we'll prepare for that because I did look into. Yeah, I looked into the fucking Senate after it became big, and I'm like, what the fuck's up with this? Well, actually, Crystal Flame contacted me, one of the people on it, and I got me curious, but she never talked to me, just contacted me.
It's like right in here because she has
I will remind you. Rosa said, "I'm sorry for."
She has. Where is it?
Calling her a slut hole. That's not what I'm asking, right? You admit
the part.
That's not just on hearsay with Endo.
What is it? What is the one that I'm thinking of? Somebody mind melt with me. They're talking about how she has like a caretaker.
Yes, she has a caretaker. She's mentally retarded. Yes, apparently she did harass people, but if you're getting harassed by a retarded person, you're probably not that good. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. The definition of harassment that what's your definition of harassment? War.
I mean the repeated. God, I forget I mean, it's pretty much the verb, the basic definition, the repeated attacks on people via. I mean, there's a lot of via message ways you can say it: calling, following to, knocking on their door.
I think the malicious intent is needed. Okay, a lot of people
run
absolutely. Cover like, oh, I'm justified for doing this thing that I'm accusing others of because I have good at. No, you don't, motherfucker. No, you don't. It seems like that some of the time. It's like, yeah, repeated encounters with malicious intent. Okay, what people consider malicious intent that changes. Different people have different values and would consider different things malicious.
I guess my question to you would be like that. You mean like a guardian or a custodian, right?
Yeah, I've been informed since then that that's apparently a derogatory term. I wasn't aware of that, so that I can apologize for. But yes.
Ignorance. Yes, she had a handler. Okay, she was legally mentally retarded and had to have a caretaker to take care of her.
Yeah.
Okay. And
but calling her
caretaker, her parents.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, you could justify that in theory, but after all this insulting and beating them down, it just reminded me of just breaking people down. You were in the military war, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how they break people down to build them
Yeah.
up, supposedly?
I mean, I went through basic training, so yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people broke in basic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to get into personal details, but my impression of Leo Convoy when I was in there is not that he was grooming people, because that's going to come up later. More, he was a drill instructor. But I didn't know about that found family at the time, so that put additional context for it. And we got, the psycho. Okay, I'm pressing play.
That is what is meant by that they have a custodian.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they have a guardian or custodian. So you know legally, like if somebody has a guardian or
Never.
custodian, that in a lot of
I make
states
no
means
money.
that they
Give me
can't own a
money
gun,
if you want
they
it.
can't gamble, they can't make major purchases, right?
Well, actually, no, because I've had other people that are friends of mine that have been on the spectrum, which is what I knew.
Just because you're autistic does not mean that you have like a guardian. That's totally different. Like guardians are provided.
Yeah, autistic people is when you're like low functioning autistic. It's called a spectrum. None of these people realize different people with autism. Do you know this war about people?
Yeah,
on the
I
spectrum?
actually have a nephew who's nonverbal autistic. He will be living with his parents his entire life. They are his caretakers. He gets some forms of disability. They don't really take a lot of it though, because they're better off than most. But yeah, a lot of it has to deal with medical. So yeah, it's a spectrum. You can either be the high functioning person who is quirky, or you can be like down to the nonverbal where you have no skills to say of.
Yeah, I just keep seeing people compare like their autism to other autism. And I'm like, are you guys just stupid? Are you guys just I just don't get why they do that comparison all the time.
Well, there's been a common trope that's come up amongst mental health people, where you have people who do use it as a crutch. Like you've got the self-diagnosed people.
Yeah,
you've got.
I fucking hate those. I mean, I understand it in some cases. I know some people who are clearly took the test and are autistic, but they're older people, so they weren't really screening. But with other things, it just seems like a cope sometimes, the self-diagnosis.
I mean, yeah, a lot of times it is, and people will use things like autism to
as an excuse, like Lio did. You're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Well, anyone who watched my contacts will find out that's the excuse they give him. Oh god, good information.
I have a particular hate for the ADHD TikTok and online. There's some of them I like, but there's a huge amount of hate I have for that group.
Okay. I'm ADHD.
I mean, I am ADHD. That's why I hate them.
Or autonomy to make their own decisions. So, and that includes managing their own money, being in charge of their, their living situation, being in charge of their medical decisions, anything like that. That's like there's a big fucking difference there.
Do about Rosa. They have a spectrum that they have seizures. Excuse me. And they have guardians over them and whatnot, and they're still able to make tons of decisions. They still have full cognition. They're able to make a lot of decisions. One example of that would be Misanthropony. His mother's in complete, guardianship over him, and she's still able to make his YouTube channel, still did some things that he was held accountable for, the whole 9 yards.
I mean, would he argue that Daniel Larson is, like, all there and all with it? Obviously not.
Lock him up. Daniel Larson? Fucking hell. I don't know why people let that guy on loose. Do you know about him?
I mean, what? Yeah, but I mean, what are you going to do with him? Like outside of the bomb threat that he recently made, like where are you going to do with him? It's the mental health system in the United States as a whole. He's a homeless person, just like every other homeless person that has schizophrenia, fetal alcohol syndrome, whatever it is that is causing them to have mental health issues that puts them on the street. Daniel Larson will be in and out of jail and mental health facilities until the day he dies.
God, it's almost sad, but you can't just let people like that just do whatever they want. Or like Christian, and let's move on.
This is ridiculous.
Discovering later on, because as I've stated in my video, the knowledge of the spectrum, mental health, all that isn't really my strong suit, which is why I've made a lot of changes to how I conduct any of these things, especially when somebody is on the spectrum, not related to predator hunting. I don't do that anymore. But for a while, my thought...
That's going to be a theme, okay. Yeah, you were going to see this in a bit. I'm actually going to jump ahead. We're doing commentary on commentary. Okay, so we're back at this.
If you have diminished capacity, then your understanding of right and wrong is limited, which is why we try children differently. The way that we would try adults in like criminal proceedings is because they have reduced capacity, diminished capacity, the same way that somebody who is intellectually disabled can have, not always, but can have diminished capacity. Like they're two totally different fucking things. But
Criticism.
Yeah, and sometimes they have to learn right and wrong in different ways. They don't pick up on things. Exactly right. Okay. That's two. They different learning disabilities. Like definitely something I've heard about and know from my experience in psychology is different people learn via different methods. Like classrooms are more tuned, the sort of teaching method on average is suited more towards female students than male students. Males tend, on average, to learn better hands-on, while women, again, on average, learn better from lectures and basically auditorial learning versus visual learning.
Makes sense. They like to yap. They like to hear people yap. We like to do things.
And when we're not trying to be sexist, this is science, bitch.
I'm not going to do a single response to anybody who is saying negative things about me in relation to Rosa. The reason why? Because I screwed up. I said and did horrendous things in that call that I will never repeat. That's accountability. I own that. I'm not telling people that, well, I need to, in order to heal, I need to not be spoken about. No, that's not how this works. It's not. Accountability is accepting, growing, and moving on.
Yeah, accountability, War. What do you think it is?
I mean, it's taking, it's understanding the thing you did wrong and making changes to not do that thing wrong again, right? Accountability is saying, hey, I was wrong here. This is why I was wrong.
Yeah.
Admitting to it. That's what it comes down to. Like it's a huge thing. When I was in the military, you tended to get in less trouble if you took accountability for doing something wrong than if you tried to hide it and lie to it, right? Lie about it.
Yeah, but admitting. Well, what if you're talked into believing you did something wrong when you might not necessarily? You just go with the group and just accept it. This guy will have these big group sessions to be like, you're doing this, this, and this wrong. And in a lot of cases, I could probably even agree with him in a lot of cases. But trying to reach to them that they did the wrong thing, those Senate calls, yeah, that doesn't seem like the right way to do it. The sort of shame, sort of methodology they did.
Right. Well, that's not like Lio is not taking accountability. He is trying to shame them into what he thinks is taking accountability.
Yes, he's trying to put his idea of accountability on them. As I said, I had a version of my thing where I'm like, who is the expert on accountability? Okay. And what's the processes you need to really go through? But I already went over that in partial and a different stream. Let's not bore people with rehashing that.
And also, if I may, you like I was saying before, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You consistently say, I want to be left alone. I want to be left alone. I don't want to be talked about. I want to be left alone. And then you're posting, and you say that you're a reactive person, and that it's just you reacting. Did you react for so long that you made a 26-page document, and you reacted when you did an entire interview with Tommy's house? Or you just reacted when you had discussions with all these people? You were in people's lives chats and all that. That's not reaction. That is you cannot react for that long. That's what you do. And like Leo said, it's not. Go for it.
Okay. When I say reactive, I mean like in the moment things, like the Twitter bursts, the posts that I've written, the very small like things that were deleted with it comes from the document. That was because, and I'm going to be blunt and 100% honest because I know everybody wants honesty here.
No, they don't.
I did that was because
No, they don't want honesty. See, this is the foolish thing. Lyle will say that he's completely honest, but he's full of shit most of the time, as we're about to go over.
I held a lot of animosity. I held a lot of it for what happened, especially against Lio, because, and I detailed my grievances out there in that document wholeheartedly. Was that, and the whole I guess animosity started on September 2nd in the document, if you read it, which I know you did. When you essentially told me that my mental health did not matter to what I did. Yeah. That's when I had a perpetual hate, and that's when I said to myself, at some point or later, I got to get back at you. I gotta kick you when you go down at some point, because we all go down at some point. So when I wrote the document, I know I said in the
Yeah, revenge is not a good reason to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Revenge
Well, okay.
never solves anything. Okay. But this is the sort of mindset that a lot of people on the internet have. Okay. He's just displaying his logic. He's trying to be honest. That's the illusion of these calls.
there that it was not a parting shot. It was not to, kick a man while he was down. That's not true. I wasn't trying to do that, but it was just to vent my frustrations because nobody listened to me. Nobody gave a fuck about what I did or did sense. All when I get things.
Now is where I'm going to step in.
Okay.
When I
Back up, kitten. Get behind me. Quick, get behind me, kittens.
I mean, I like the style for these sort of calls. Okay. The sort of joke
Yeah.
when you're going over it.
mental health does not matter. It was not in the sense of it doesn't matter if you don't matter as a person. It's because it did not matter because you were trying to use it as an excuse to your objections. You can have mental struggles. We all do. It does not excuse or justify how you treated people, how you acted, or how you reacted. So I'm going to lay this out for you as sternly and fairly
Lay it out.
as I can.
Lay it on me.
Go ahead.
Fuck me up.
You cannot sit here and tell me with your full face a few things. One,
face.
nobody cared about you. SASU, when you were posting about hurting yourself on social media, who called you?
You did twice.
Why?
Pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. Who called him? This is going to be important for the section of the section that I'm going to go over in the next video. This is going to be a little bit off. But there's another part that I want
Because you were genuinely concerned about my well-being at the time.
Yeah.
Dude, just call a wellness check on people. Call a wellness check on people. Like, have we learned nothing from the Zuby Poopy saga?
I have no clue what he's
So-
talking about.
And I mean this for life. Don't brag about being good. Like
Here.
Lio. The truth is good people don't brag about being good. In the wise words of Hobson, a real blank doesn't brag about being real because he knows it. Okay? If you do kind things for other people, you shouldn't be doing that for validation. Okay? You should be doing that because it's the kind thing to do. It's not something that you hold over someone's head. So I would say probably I've probably helped like every single one of my friends move at some point in my life.
Liar. Well, maybe he's true. Mostly. Let's get through this because I want to know your thoughts on that because I agree wholeheartedly with this. Okay.
Am I like, oh yeah, bitch, well, I helped you move, so you owe me da 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 da? No, it's a kind thing to do. People that keep score like this are manipulative. People that try to, acquire a list of good deeds to weaponize against other people in order to feign, oh, but I cared, I totally cared. Why are you treating me like shit when I did X, Y, Z for you, and you're treating me like shit after I did this? That's ridiculous. That's what manipulative people do, and that's what bad people do who are pretending to be good for the external validation. Because if you are a good person, the reward that you get for being good is doing good actions. And that's enough. That's enough. You don't give, food or money to homeless people with your fucking phone shoved in their fucking face recording it because you want everybody to think that you're a good person. You do it out of the generosity of your heart. These are two totally different things. And I will continue to reiterate that I do not believe for a fucking second that Lio is a Christian. Well, he's an evangelical. That tracks pretty hard. But it's like, you do not do good things for validations from others. You just don't. If you're a good person, you do it because it makes you feel good to help other people. And then you don't lord it over people's heads after the fact. That's bitch shit. That's bitch shit right there, bruh.
Amen, brother. And yeah, I attest to this. The sort of Bible readings within the Senate seemed really weird given the sort of crowd they had. But oh god,
I didn't know they did Bible readings.
There's a little. I don't think they were too frequent. I remember my brief time there that there was some talk of Bibles, and there's plenty of talk of going to church. There's even a screenshot I saved from one of his videos where he does the whole demonic thing. Trigger warning. He has like a couple of things, but I'd like highlighted the demonic thing. So, one of these weird, not Christian, but also, let me not get into that. There's some wokeness supposedly in the church, but let me not go into that.
When people allegedly treated you horribly in that June call, who held them accountable?
You did, and you told me that. And Aaron told me that at the time too.
Like, he just has a little black book of like IOUs where it's like, on this date I texted you and said, how was your day? You owe me 3 capitulations in a Discord call.
Yes, he's a religious guy, black and white thinking at the end of the day.
Your issues to their detriment. Literally, that's what you were saying. Because you wanted to come back and defend.
Oh, yeah. I was going to pause to get the thoughts. You have any more on what Malcolm said about the good people thing, that you don't use it to try to hold it against people? I mean, sometimes you feel like if you did something good or tried to help someone out when they do something out of left field and talk shit about you. Yeah, it seems a little bit weird. But you're not going to try to make them feel guilty about it. A lot of people do this. Okay. You know how much the Gooner Gators sort of do this. We're trying to save gaming narrative. Okay. Yeah. Try to apply it here might be a little bit weird. It's actually more insane, in my opinion. Thoughts on that? Sorry, I went on a little ramble there.
You're good. I mean, yeah, I agree with them that most people who are doing it are performative in this case. I mean, here's the thing. It depends. Like, I can be in an argument with somebody who says that you never do anything for me. And I'm like, well, I have done these things and not be trying to be malicious. Now, the difference is Lio and others online put a camera out there, record your calls, and do use it as collateral damage. That doesn't mean doesn't mean that you're going to remember every single good deed you have and bring it up to them. But sometimes you do have to factually say, like, I am trying to help you. I am doing these things. It's all on the context of how you're using it. Lio is clearly using it to hold some kind of power over the people that he is talking to.
Yeah, and there's something that I was a little sus of back in the old commentary days with Mama Max, why I came back in the fold and sort of got into the research on Mama Max, is he really attracted the mentally ill people, brought them in, tried to get people with similar sort of issues with his Life Sucks series. This is old lore you might not know about. And he even had a podcast that many people don't know about called A Quiet Place for Friends. It was a podcast with another commentary channel named Sino, who's now JoJo's ASMR. I actually tried to reach out to him when the Mama Max thing. I'm like, I don't think you're gonna respond, or you might not want to touch this, but with all this stuff with Mama Max, I just wanted to know what you think. I don't think he ever got back to me on that, but it was worth a try. The Sino, I have an old live stream going over that. So if anyone's curious about my commentary on that, which I forget about now, it's just a lot of things with Mama Max. Strangely enough, has overlap with Lio Convoy. Surprise, surprise. Both Predator hunters, same pattern of behavior I see.
Yeah, pedo hunters tend to have a personality type.
Yeah, typically they abuse themselves, okay? A vicious cycle at the end of the day. The cycle of abuse is hard to break, okay? I'm sure Lyle would even say this himself.
Well, I also think there's a certain amount of like anybody who does anything online has a certain amount of wanting for attention, right? I didn't start a hobby channel doing the slop stuff that I do because I didn't want to talk to people or have some kind of influence. So you get into these predator hunters, it's an easy moral
yeah, you're always in the right, okay? They did something to minors. They abused them. You're always going to be the good guy. It's the greatest way to look like a good guy, okay? Yeah. I'm not going to deny anyone who says that. But, man.
Shouldn't change all of our values around Lubio, around one person. You have been heard out multiple times. Now, I have tried to help you in multiple ways to my own detriment. I've sent you something to see if that'll help you out. I've been on the phone with you and your mother to try to get you some help in terms of interaction.
Lio Convoy is just like one of those big plastic kiddie pool basins that you can get at like fucking Walmart. Because he's like a big, huge, like
this
that is a
wrong message. Malcolm failed.
Being around people who are the caliber you would like to be, because I'm going to try to be kind and polite to you in this call. I have taken the brunt of the nonsense that people have tried to throw your way concerning me. And on top of that, when
Just
people started
me.
harassing you via mail, via DoorDash, I did my best to keep you calm and tell you what to do and how to respond to it.
Instead of doing that, why didn't he criticize the people that were doing that? Like, realistically, let's spin this another way. The tide.
I'm gonna have to actually defend Lyle. I don't know if he could have. Okay, if he had the ability to do that, if he's talking about, if this is people in his own Discord doing this and tell him to knock it off, which it sounds like Lyle did. I think Malcolm's being a little bad faith here, but he has a certain perspective on Lyle, which I don't blame him for.
Sure.
Turn, and all of you guys hate Sai. Everybody in my community is like, Sai is an evil lesbian, and I'm like, I've been saying this, you guys.
Okay, you're not going to know this. This is not important. Sai fought with Lyle. Lyle fought with Sai. That's not going to be relevant in this. This is one of his things. Okay.
Gotcha. Deep
It
lore.
could be. It's not what you actually want. And the way I can tell that is by your actions. In a few ways. Number one, you constantly vulturing around the community, hoping to see me stumble and fall because you're angry at me when all I've done is try to help you. And that is literally all I have done. Is try to help you. Much to the chagrin of the people around me. Because I am foolish enough to try to help people who don't want to change. Something that I am very recently choosing to not do any further.
Yeah, I'm such a victim. I give so much. No one ever gives back. Dude, you get too invested in all these people's lives, okay? What? Oh, God, this is just insane. And
yeah, I would definitely say at this point in time, like he wasn't doing it, I think, out of the goodness out of his heart. He got something out of it.
yeah, okay. He was a leader, okay? He had a reputation for a while, and he can't let it go now. Let it go, Lyle. You're not a leader. You're just fucking up more, it seems like. Okay.
Secondly, the moment you thought you'd get an upper hand, where do I find you? I find you in Kumo's server.
Kumo's server!
And not just Kumo's server. I also found you in Crystal's. Now,
Crystal
Crystal
is
is kind enough to learn how to play the game.
Thank you, Crystal.
So while it seemed like we were beefing on social media, we were still talking behind the scenes. Actually, it wasn't Crystal server, it was Doritos, I think.
Okay, that's all I wanted in here. Do you see what he laid out there?
Can you play it one more time? He kind of talks fast, or he.
I
said
sped
that a
it
little
up. I
fast.
can speed it down for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just gonna do normal speed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's Kumo's server. I also found you in Crystal's. Now, Crystal is kind enough to learn how to play the game.
Thank you, Crystal.
So while
Learn how to play the game.
Okay,
So why
that's
it
a weird
seemed
thing to
like we
say.
were
it
beefing?
seemed like we were beefing on social media, we were still talking behind the scenes. Actually, it wasn't Crystal server, it was Doritos.
See, he sort of, I don't know if he knows this was being recorded or not. He just admitted to pretty much being fake. Okay, this is fake drama. Okay. This is from his perspective. So who the fuck knows if this is real? That's what I wanted to go over in reality. Okay. Remember when, okay, any thoughts on just that? It might be too early to really get anything out of that.
Yeah, I mean, most of that
100% with the chief, because this.
Sorry.
You're good.
Go
I mean, that's all kind of stuff that I've known at least a surface level idea of Leonardo. So I mean, that's
bad.
none of that's
Lion Man bad.
Lion Man bad.
Like-
So yeah, I mean, and I remember there was a thing where that came up, I guess, was it a couple months ago? I don't remember when the Cindy Bear drama and all that other stuff was that Lio got mixed up in it. And then I guess I remember hearing Beckett say that he's kind of changing his ways. So we'll see.
I know.
I haven't seen anything.
Beckett's mistake there. Okay. I don't know about Beckett. I can believe that he's just foolish enough to believe what people tell him. Yeah. Oh, God. Well, I have videos out there. I try to keep them rather factual and give my opinion on the factual stuff. Let's not get into that. But yeah, I don't think Lio has changed. Okay. He's given up the predator hunting, which is good because he's fucked up most cases. And at least the one section that I want to play is very significant. So let me cue this up here. You already saw this, but putting some of this shit out there in context might be good. Might be lost on some people. I can be a bit vague with some of my videos. So live streams, just to give it straight, it's always a good idea.
And with Peaches now under his wing, she'd refocus her content to be more about the same subject matter, such as making a video about Cody Lovely back when...
So, I didn't even think about this beforehand. Yeah, Coyote Lovely was part of Lio's crew for a while. Interesting fun fact. but she changed her content, according to this video at least, to match his. Okay.
That news dropped in early 2023. This content.
Oh, did you have something more to say?
I was to say I don't know much about the Coyote person.
Well, they definitely became a power duo, feared by all, or something like that. I meant.
Oh.
Okay. Definitely, it seemed like Harley in his video was a little bit fearful when Peaches and Lio came to talk to some of his mods without letting him know, because even he admits they fucked up on something that he's leaving the complete details off. Details, right?
Right.
Would revitalize her career as a predator hunter alongside Lio, and he would continue to work on many projects, such as a video about known YouTube troll Smash Bandicoot, for example. However, in the opening section of this video, Lio would show people he was willing to abuse YouTube's copyright system in order to get his docs information, as he explicitly talks about how he did so before getting into everything.
The day I uploaded the first video was not only Smash's birthday, but also the day his channel went down. Why was that, though? Well, it's because I issued him a copyright strike. You see, he used art I commissioned for a thumbnail to do a stupid video threatening my family and I. This strike served two purposes.
Disavow. I actually think Crash Bandicoot came in my chat one time a while ago. Like, let's team up against Kurtosis. I'm like, are you the real Smash Bandicoot? No, I'm criticizing Kurtosis, okay? It could have been just an imitator or something. Some people have this sort of mindset that just because you criticize people and don't like their actions and find a problem with it, that you want to take them down. No, I just want them to stop doing the stuff. Like, if fucking Smash, even Grums could come back from a lot of his stuff. A lot of these people, I'd be like, no, I don't want to take them down. I want them to stop doing this stuff. I don't have the power to do it. Okay? I simply want to point out things that I'm finding wrong that no one else is pointing out some of the time. You know about that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying there. Me personally, I don't care if they fall out or not. Like, I don't think anyone should lose their channel or anything like that. No. But if they just completely change their ways, then I can't make fun of them.
At least. Okay, got it. You want to milk them? Fucking hell, figures.
I mean, my thing when it comes to the audience and things like that, when it comes to like the people doing stuff on the line, yeah, you want them to not be the way they are, but I don't care if they say their opinions. I just want people to realize when they're wrong by showing them that.
Yeah, but you need to understand where they're sometimes, if they're actually human beings and not complete cardboard cutouts like Andy Pants Gaming. Or there's many people like that. At least I believe people in this space are genuine. I made the comparison recently to Cult Classic Cage to Orbiter of all these commentary channels. Maybe that was a bit mean, but maybe Cass is a human being. I just doubt it. It's a simp for Smash JT. It's hard to believe someone genuinely would think Smash JT is a normal guy, unless they're fooled by that shirt he sometimes wears.
I mean, I think she's genuine in a lot of her stuff that she does, like, because she does a lot of console wars bullshit and things like that. She doesn't really do all that much drama stuff or even gaming commentary drama stuff. From what I've seen, it's more her just kind of doing her own thing. When it comes to Smash, just for whatever reason, she is like his little puppy dog that she'll go after anybody who talks bad about him. She's just
that's how you raise the ranks, your profile, suck up to a bigger creator. See, if I wanted to get big on YouTuber, I would find a YouTuber and I would suck up to them, but I don't, because I'm stupid apparently.
Smaller purpose was to throw dirt in his eye, and the main purpose was to gain entry into Smash's info.
Now that would justify his actions by stating how Smash is a known degenerate who spams porn to anybody, including children, so nobody on that side of the internet would give him any flack for this because what he did was seen in a morally good light. And I understand. Smash is a heathen on society and he should get arrested and sent to jail as soon as possible. However, him willing to show that he would do whatever it takes to get the personal information on someone was interesting, and he would confirm that he was able to get information like this through this stunt.
I may sound a bit insensitive when I
Okay. That's the sort of thing there. What was his excuse back? I think he's going to bring it up. He did it with his Retroblast thing back here.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
going to
where
go
he
over
was-
this. This seems extremely petty, and it shows the sort of how he even was talking about being a predo hunter in that video.
Mhm.
It's just insane. He's trying to use that clout. And oh god, a part-time predo hunter and reviewer of children cartoons and toys. It's a weird combo. It's a weird combo to go with. But yes, you find you can completely justify what you do to bad people on the internet. And like, let me not get into this. This is the sort of thing they turned Alyssa Mercante. As much as I disagree with her ideas on the culture war side of things, they milked her, they get her to spurg out, and they just continuously do. At least these guys aren't that bad. I'll give them some credit here and there.
Sure.
You don't want to give them any credit? Okay.
I mean, you talk about, I mean, there's always a milking for content. I don't really care about milking people for content. I think when it comes to, I mean, we're getting off subject with this. When it comes to like Smash JT and the Alyssa thing, it's more than a milking for content.
No, it's just drilling.
But you know,
it's like
it's just
oil drilling, going deep with it.
Yeah, but with Lio in this situation, it always does seem like a power grab. He is, by definition, a serial doxer, and he likes to have some kind of power over whatever person or that is going against him. Like if I remember right, I didn't watch all the Lio video, but by the Zion guy, but I remember watching the first part of it, talking about that drama he got in the gaming or in his little model making sphere. And like he wasn't originally part of the beef, but he kind of inserted himself in, and then it went to this situation where he's purposely abusing the copyright system to get the guy's name so he can dox him and do other things like that. I don't know why this wouldn't just be in itself a complete deal breaker for anyone when it comes to something I'm vehemently against.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Senate.
Proctor's situation is what will get more mainstream eyes to take a look at Lao and Peaches, introducing a whole lot of people outside the RCC to this new era of its existence. More and more people start to look into them and their antics that go down in the Senate, but that begs the question, what exactly is the Senate to begin with? The Senate...
Yeah, as I said, this is the context. You can get it. I'm pretty sure I put a timestamp here. Who the fuck knows? Maybe I was wrong. We're going to get into the Kumo stuff very soon. The Kumo stuff is something I followed for a while. Context.
Onto this right off the bat. He would also go after Kumo and basically say he's poisoning the well. But by this point, no sane person could take this guy seriously after he just threatened a dude and his kid over their petty internet beef.
Okay, that's Gilded Poo. That's the section with Gilded Poo. And now he's sort of now he's working with Gilded Poo after all this sort of shit he put him through. It almost seems like I don't even fucking know what to think about this. Him and Gilded Poo seems to be in lockstep. It's just really weird, as we'll find out. Because I don't want to go over too much of the stuff that's already known.
That Peaches was likely abusing Lao throughout their relationship. His response is calculated from the moment.
No, you just have evidence that Peaches were being extremely manipulative with Lio. Lio, I can't say that he was giving it right back, but the sort of call he's going to bring up, Kumo brings up, you didn't know for a year that her suicide baiting to get you to do what she wanted to do was you manipulating was her. No, I didn't know. It's like it comes off so hollow. How can you be in predator hunting and talk about grooming when you don't know about such a basic manipulation tactic as suicide baiting to get someone to go along with what you're doing? It just seems absurd to me. I mean, would you try to use that excuse, War?
No, I dislike suicide baiting. It generally has the
Uh,
opposite effect for me.
Yeah, I would.
I'll
I
tell you
would
to go
give him
do
one
it.
chance. I'm like, if you threaten to kill yourself one more fucking time, I'm just getting out of whatever relationship I am with you. Like, you don't do that shit, okay?
Yeah.
You don't just suicide bait. If there's a problem, yeah, just let me know. That's what real friends would do. But real friends on the internet, especially in content creation, for various different reasons, it's generally used as an illusion, in my opinion. And it's case by case basis.
A lot of times it's used online as a reason to try and stifle any criticism you're receiving. You'll say
Yes.
something like, "Oh, this drama is making me want to kill myself," and you're like, oh, "Okay, you're not actually going to trying to get help, right? That's not how most suicides work. Like, yes, you're not in your right mind, so you may say something like that, but it's a very common tactic for people to use. In the private setting, you're really not going to know that it's suicide baiting until well after the first, second, third time.
Oh, you cut out. Might be my
Oh,
internet.
it could be mine too. What I said was you're not gonna be able to know really it's suicide baiting in the private setting until it's happened multiple times and you start to realize they are using it.
Yeah, but for a full year, it just comes across as
Yeah.
unbelievable. He's not going to play that section. He's going to play another section I think is worthwhile.
Children in an attempt to scare them into silence. It wasn't a good look at all, but this wasn't the end of everything, as there was still more that would go down as the RCC crumbled apart yet again. Now, Akuma would release a response video to what was going on, but we're not going to go into that.
If anyone out there really is unaware, the first step of people taking notice of the RCC was during the Creep Show Art drama, where Emily Artful came across like, Creep Show Art has been harassing me along with my ex-boyfriend, who's her boyfriend now. There's plenty of videos on that. Look it up.
Yeah, I've watched the drama on the Creep Show Art stuff. That also tends to be, I guess, where the RCC started to fall apart.
Yeah, still going over the context that almost anyone who follows this shit will know. I'm just establishing certain things out there.
Today, as he was able to get allowed to an interview on April 27th, 2024. I highly recommend listening to it on your own chance, because hearing the way Lau operates outside the Senate or in private calls is so interesting to witness. At one point, he says the reason he banned Akuma from the Senate was apparently because Peaches told him to. Well, there's a lot of unimportant stuff that goes down. There's one part in particular that is far more interesting than the rest. The Jax call will be brought up, and Lau would try to not talk about it because Jax tends to act unhinged whenever his name is mentioned, but nonetheless, they're able to talk about it for a bit. Lau would continue to deny that he threatened to show up to Jax's house despite what we saw earlier, and they would—
You did say you were going to go show up to his house. You said that, all right, that's what we're going to do.
I did not say I was going to show up to his house.
You want me to come to your house?
Okay, he says, say it to my face. You say you want me to come to your house.
Yeah, do you want me to?
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Then that's what we're going to do.
Can you rewind that?
Sure, sure. Here.
To your house. Okay, cool. That's what we're gonna do.
I thought that was in relation to me talking about finding his information. So, man, clearly I was in the wrong on that one. So I apologize for that.
Oh, he'll apologize for that. How do you correct it, Lyle? It's like they think just saying you're sorry does anything. At least from that. Okay. Oh, God. Do you really think he was that fucking ignorant or that autistic that he didn't realize it? I almost could believe it.
He might not have remembered that thing, so he wanted to say that he didn't say it. And then when the proof is shown in front of him, I mean, what else does he have to say? But, my bad. Now, after this situation, has anything changed, right? That's the question I always have is, well, you said it's my bad,
yes,
but
he stopped predator
do you still
hunting.
do
That
this?
was his whole problem.
Yeah.
Not his attitude, not these calls. None of that was clearly I'm being sarcastic with that. Okay. It's just a predator hunting, which, yeah, was a problem. Fucking drill instructor.
It gets even more interesting though, as the next part is perhaps the biggest example on how this guy's mental state is like, as Jax would go on to call Lyle's phone and act a fool, in which he would respond by threatening him again live on air.
Jax, you have actively tried harassing me for the better part of a month now. I don't think you really have a place to talk about other people having a life, my dude.
Instead of just paying attention on clout on YouTube, which is very generic, to be honest with you.
Jax, do you still plan on joining the army?
Do I plan to join the army? Yeah.
Then you need to knock this nonsense off. Like, just being 100% with the chief, because this is not going to be good for a recruiter.
What makes this so much more interesting to me is that Loud.
Yeah, it's a veiled threat. It's the same veiled threat he gave the first time, if I'm remembering correctly. I think that's the context that we wanted. So, just some speed running of this particular crap right here. Now we get into new stuff that I will have to fucking explain better. As I said, I was speed running most of this stuff right here. Anything to add while I sort of get into the next thing here?
Welcome back to the Tism Report.
No, I think that pretty much
talk about other people having a life.
Pretty much
welcome back to the
that's pretty much the info about him.
I keep on fucking up. Pretty much it. Okay. Yes.
Gila of Blood Spilla says, am I shadow banned? No, we can reach it.
No. Why would I shadow ban you? I don't know who you are. Oh, I actually watched one of your streams recently, okay? I just don't check chat too well. Okay, I am very bad on chat. War has his own chat, okay? He's probably better with getting his chat, but he likes to conversate, talk to his own chat. When I have someone on, I tend to gravitate towards who I'm talking to. And yeah, let's go. Okay, the TDRL. I totally fucked that all up. The initials there. We're getting into the Kumo video with the gay ops, the failed gay ops, which is sort of essential to understanding this next little bit that I have not seen.
Is this the Kumo gay ops or the?
No, this is Lio gay ops. Okay.
Oh, the Lio.
Apparently, Lio tried to gay op.
Oh, this is the new. I haven't watched this video.
You haven't or have?
No, I haven't. I know very little about the Akumu stuff, not to be confused with
I followed Akumo 2 years ago, but I got interested in them because Kumo. I talked a bit with Kumo, telling him not to deal with this group of content creators who like to sort of dogpile on them.
Yeah.
And yeah, just because two things can be bad at the same time. This group, I think they were rather bad. That doesn't mean Kumo was completely in the right either.
And a server that I'm in named All My Demons. He says, I was just past evidence that Kumo posts porn in his server with minors present, a server that Vlad, Beckett, and Goblin admin. And I don't check either unless I'm tagged, of course. Yeah, I was addressing Lyle's response. Here, Lyle says, I'm not sure which server specifically, but will soon, and I'll just have to add it to my response to Kumo. It's All My Demons, and Lyle sends a Kumo's server.rar, along with some individual archives of the chats. Here, Pizza says, I've held an unpopular opinion about something I've kept seeing for a hot minute. Also, I'd pump the brakes on how those claims are sounding. Sounds like this is another thing that'll have the potential to get retarded, lol. Like I advise actually communicating, lol. Literally people admitting they're minors in one of the screenshots that I didn't send. I'm dumb. If you're worried I'm going to swing at Vlad with this, I won't. I'm sure he 100% doesn't pay attention to a Zoomer server. So Lyle's gotcha here is that this guy admitted to being 16 and none of the admins knew about this. Well, I'm poking Vlad. Good luck. I'd rather you wait until I have everything lined out. I don't trust him not to run to Kumo about it. I'm struggling to understand the intentions here. Also, how is Kumo relevant to it? He's just another Spurg still burning off of the teen angst. He's the server owner. What server is this? All My Demons or the Ends? Strategy to deal with. By the way, Kumo made an entire post going over all of the screenshots that I'll link down in the description that you can look at yourself just to see. Lio.
Of course, those are gone now, and if I can only go off of my memory, it definitely seemed like a gay op at the time to me. But
yeah,
Kumo definitely.
I didn't realize that stuff got deleted.
Oh, Kumo's channel's gone. He's burged out. But dude got pissed off and banned me from his chat at one point because I was making fun of his friend, Alex the Critic. And like, yeah, he was talking about in chat, Alex the Critic's like, yeah, I'm going to help him. I'm like, Kumo, don't let Alex the Critic help you with this fucking Peaches stuff, okay? He banned me. I sort of lost track after that.
Didn't want Kumo to know about the fact that there was a minor in his server. If you're so concerned,
I think this is a little bit of a reach, but it's probably right. Okay, I'm guessing this grandpa long Nick Yeah, it definitely seems like, because Lyle wouldn't say it directly. Okay, it definitely seems to be the implied sort of idea. Saying it directly is probably a dumb thing to do. And Lyle, yeah, non-verbal unless you get caught.
With minors being shown porn and me.
We do have to take Akumo's word that that was Lyo's screen name there, which I believe.
Kumo and all of us don't know that there's a minor in our midst, and you find this, but you don't want to tell us about it. Instead, you want to wait until you can whip it out publicly because you're pissed off about the FCK shit. Because let's be honest, that's what this comes down to. That's all this is he's going to try and draw a parallel to the FCK to try and say that we're doing the same thing in our server. And I'll get into that in just a moment because that's not going to work. So when Kumo was addressing this, he said it took all of 10 seconds to ban the now 17-year-old when I was informed of this. Yet Lyo doesn't want me or any of my mods knowing. So Pooh, Gilded Pooh, messaged this guy and said, random question, I'm a mod from Kumo server. How old are you? 17. He says, it's an 18 and up server. Sorry, damn. Then Kumo says, I suppose my gay porn spam in a server that is age gated is supposed to be important to include in his response video. Are memes that are more homophobic and racist than they even are porn. But I suppose we need to run ops. That's his gotcha, by the way. Gay porn memes is that Kumo and a few other people have sent gay porn memes, GIFs, into the server with captions and all.
Yeah, this is the sort of practice I hated in the small commentary space. They would do that shit. Okay. They were they were disgusting. Okay. They weren't porn. Okay. I can tell you they weren't porn, but they were disturbing to me. Okay. But I'm a straight man. I don't want to see a black man's ass going ba 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 ba. That was it. That's just me. I'm just like, it seems stupid in the space to do this along with the I rape you. I know it's a joke. I know they turned it into a meme, but I think after a certain point, if you just normalize doing that with each other in small commentary space. In fact, I know a case where someone took that sort of logic too far and got all offended and was like, they're harassing me sexually by saying they're raping. Like, yeah, I know this is bound to happen. It's like they bait people with these memes to accuse them so they can be like, that was just a meme. And it's just completely retarded. Yeah, that's retarded. Okay. I want to say our slur for the fucking really stupid stuff. They're stupid, retarded, and cosmically stupid on my scale of things. I like to make these distinctions. That's just me. But oh god,
yeah, that's. I mean, you can have that opinion of it. Now, when it comes to like spamming whatever gay porn, black ass, big dicks, and stuff like that into a Discord,
yes,
you're looking to take the Discord down, right?
Yes, score. Yes, score.
I have so there's things with that. Saying you're raped though, I don't really care. Like it can be funny in situations.
It can't be, but when you have a whole bunch of teenagers and they're just copycatting it and using it really weird ways, yeah, issues crop up. Okay. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Okay, it's just a bad idea with minors and even stupid younger people who are over the age of 18. But yeah, I can be a bit of a prude with that.
Well, clearly being for humor. Zoomer humor, mind you. And they did it in front of this guy who they didn't even know was 16. This is all, and mind you, Lyo didn't want us to know he was 16. He's so concerned about this, yet his first instinct is, don't draw kind of porn sites are best. We don't encourage fucking kids to draw porn or any of that shit. None of us knew that this guy was 16.
Yeah, like that. He's drawing the comparison where they do this in the FCK, which he reported on. It's still not a good practice if you're going into all this stuff to do such things. Recently, Kumo made his own website. No, his own Discord 18+, and they do age verification because people try to get into these Discords with minors and being like, oh, you're doing all this creepy stuff with like these creepy little GIFs. And be like, oh, you're supposing minors do all this crap. Do you get the gist of that so far?
Yeah, I've seen it happen to other things where the community finds out that someone is underaged in a server, even though no one else knew it beforehand, and they try to blame the server owner or the YouTuber attached to the server. To me, it's brain dead unless you find out that the YouTuber or said server owner knew ahead of time and didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's all about the context around this particular thing. But this is the context here, and I think I've went over enough to get into the real thing, which might actually get me into hot water because I have some thoughts on this is where we're going to spend most of our time. And if there's enough people who want to raise their hands and join in after a certain period, I'm going to, yeah, let's see who shows up. There might be some later. We'll see. But yes, let's go from the beginning of this. Oh, God, I keep on fucking this up. Okay, here's a little intro section as hiding from you. So, surprise, surprise. I was going through my old screen caps of anything I might have screen capped from any of this stuff after my last stream. Like, let me look through these old screen caps and see if I have anything useful. And I came across this particular thing here, and I found it very interesting. And I don't know if I can co-sign this completely. And I really think this beginning is horrible from this guy, so I'm skipping a lot of it. And there's a lot as it is, so put it on. This is 90s router guy.
Guy. Absolutely not. So eventually Lio and Gilded Poo join the call. Spoiler alert, they're all friends. Or maybe they're family. It's hard to tell with Lio. In the end, I do the decent thing, remove the video, and apologize for making.
I think he admitted to doing poor research and calling Lio a groomer is what I'm cutting out from here. And I think there's an argument that you can call Lio a groomer, not a sexual groomer. Did you remember what I said? I've called him like a drill instructor, breaking people down and building them back up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Conditioning, sort of training people to be pedo hunters. That is a form of grooming. He took down his video, so he probably didn't word it correctly. And it's definitely a poor thing to not do research before making that accusation. But yeah, saying Lio grooms pedo hunters to train them more like a boot camp, a drill instructor. I said that to him. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if he's a cult leader. I could have been wrong with that because they have some cult-like tendencies, but he definitely grooms pedo hunters back in his heyday. Try to wrangle them. And oh God, he wasn't even very successful of that. If you know about the Coyote Lovely shit, right?
I don't know shit about the Coyote Lovely stuff.
Okay.
I just recently started hearing about it in like, I've heard Beckett mention it. I've heard a couple other people mention it, but I know nothing about it.
Yeah, overlap with Psy. Okay, this guy just took it. So we're going to go through this. Not many people covered this or been like, yeah, let's take a look at this guy. He fucked up. He admitted to fucking up with not doing research. Let's go through his.
Such a baseless accusation. Everyone makes mistakes. I assumed this would put things to rest, and that this would be the end of it. Fast forward a week, and although the video was completely removed as promised, and I've been ousted for being a fraud that doesn't do his research, it would appear that I have some new members joining the Discord, some of which with accounts less than a week old, and never once acknowledging a warm welcome, but not suspicious in the slightest. Needless to say, things are looking up. File in the mix, congregating and plotting right under our noses. With an open server like I had, this could be incredibly dangerous and incredibly irresponsible of me not to have taken this into consideration. And I was the server owner. How could I let this happen? As everything began to fall apart around me, suddenly, the screenshot was dropped. Could it be true? Was Nick really the monster they were painting him as? Did he so carelessly post this in the general chat, right under our noses? Did he make us for fools?
Jesus Christ. Why is he fucking doing this? Okay. This is what annoys me about this. He does this little bit about this commercial. I get it. You don't. I'm going to criticize this video for how he's handling this. I think he should take it a little bit more serious. I just don't get this commercial break crap. The Senate, I guess he's trying to mock them. It just doesn't seem good when you're on the back foot and you do genuinely admitting that you fucked up some places.
Okay.
That's the biggest problem with this video. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Find ways to insert a little bit of the humor better, man.
So the raid was over. The miners were removed. and we were converted to an 18+ server. Most of us battered and bruised, a few holding each other and crying in the corner, and I, the 90s router, stood silent with my underwear wedged halfway up my ass.
I have to.
As the heroes and do-gooders high-fived
I can't stand that. I have to fucking watch this. I have to play this.
each other while walking away. A post was made pointing the finger at Lyle.
Yes, you got gay opt. Okay, most likely they sent either a minor or someone posing as a minor to gay opt you, so they can continue with this shit. Fuck it out.
Convoy and Ace
It's that
Space
simple.
before later retracting
Space.
Ace, as he's clearly the innocent party and has nothing to do with this whatsoever. The next
Are you even finding what I am putting in here that funny, War?
No, I mean, this guy's just kind of being, I don't know. He's trying to be funny, but he's not. I think
Yeah.
he should just stick to the facts of what happened, maybe.
Yes.
But everyone has their own style, I guess.
Yeah. I'm going to criticize the video, even though I'm finding the information interesting.
next day, another live stream was hosted, and Nick was put on display as the truly disgusting man that he was. His reputation was over if he couldn't clear his name. It took weeks of messaging Ace Space, the live stream host, to get an interview. But all was in vain. His only glimmer of hope would come with a live stream hosted by one Glass Raven to clear the air. Meanwhile, I was the centerfold of the art commentary community's drama, as the individual that would allow a file to run rampant.
Yes, that much is true. Okay. Takes 5 minutes to get this with some stupid ass humor. The video execution is horrible, in my opinion. Oh, God.
Sure.
In a server full of minors. Some good news, though, as Nick was able to clear his name, at least with Gilded Poo and Lio, but things would only get worse as another moderator, Novax, would be accused of the exact same thing, but this time with proof. Since then, I've been cowering away in the Discord server, terrified of the outside world, or the internet outside the world, I guess. I've closed off invites to my Discord, handed ownership over to Novax, the predator in question, deactivated my Twitter, and ignoring the increasing waves of criticism and questions, even going as far as to block comments from my channel. The coward I am, I'm ashamed. Okay, so clearly I've been hamming it up for the past 5 minutes, and with such serious allegations, where could I possibly be going with this?
Okay. The video gets somewhat decent after this. Okay. I like the information. As someone can correct me if he's just full of shit, but to me, it seems like he was gay up. Okay. Would you concur?
I'm gonna have to see what he puts out here about those two. I mean, it does sound strange that some people came in. I don't know who this guy is that caught Nick. So what's the context of that? How long has Nick been in the server? Obviously, he was proven innocent? I guess, is what this guy says. But the problem is I don't know this specific drama, so I don't see the details of what happened. It's hard for me to say.
Okay, let's see how well he lays this out for someone not as familiar with the details. Even I'm not fully informed on all the details. I know about these people he's talking about. So
So this is Gilded Poo. His mullet and flannel combo tell me that he isn't wealthy and privileged, nor is he gold-plated, but his attitude towards the situation leads me to believe that he thinks he smells like roses, if you catch my drift. In fact, he was the channel I heavily misrepresented in my Lio Convoy video, which I didn't. I pretty strongly echoed his points. He just didn't like that it was in the same video I called his gooning buddy a possible groomer. He was also...
Gilded Poo is a troll. He uses that as a shield for his bad actions. Like with the side case, is generally pulling, at least this is what I hear, that they got Gilded Poo to talk about rape inside. Yes, it was his sort of fucking trollish humor. And yeah, what do you think of that as trolling? Talking about raping women. Like, I don't know if it was for live stream. I forget the details. I think it was in a Discord. Fauci's Discord? Maybe.
Gilded Poo did it in Fauci's Discord?
That's what I hear. It could have been on the live stream. So forgive me for the details. But
That's
yeah.
Fair. I don't know. Gilded Poo, like I said, a lot of these shitters, I know I've heard Gilded Poo's name. I don't think I've ever heard anybody in the commentary community like positively talk about Gilded Poo.
No.
So
it's weird that he teamed up with Lio when he was clearly on a Kumo's side and fucking Kumo's side for the longest time. but
Right.
when I was following Kumo, I saw him come in. So I'm like, who is this guy? This is a little weird content, but okay. He also is criticizing Lyle and Peaches, so it makes sense they would gravitate towards each other. But yeah.
Responsible for the raid that took place on the 12th of January, and as we've yet to turn up anyone else that may have been sending invites, he was the only one responsible for the raid. But let's talk about that. See, this message implies that he's solely after my moderator, Nick, and considering when he joined, the first thing he brought to my attention was this. I'm led to believe that this message was the backing for his raid in the first place, and out of context, this message response to a minor is pretty damning. But that's why context always plays a crucial role, and context, as you'll soon figure out, isn't something in these idiots' vocabularies. In fact, I noticed over the last month, they tend to trip over it all the time. Here's the context. Does it make sense now? It's a joke. Maybe not a good one, but even I'm liable for dropping some corny-ass zingers. Now, this quickly derailed Gilded and claimed that he still found Nick creepy, but not a pedophile. He only remained long enough to scramble for any other weightless accusations to hold against my community and cause as much chaos as possible. But if this was all, then clearly he didn't look very hard into this accusation, do some snooping of his own, or ask any follow-up questions before.
And another piece of context, this was after he was raided, after he did a video on Lio Convoy.
Yeah, so pretty much it seems like the timeline is he did a video on Lio. He got called out for some of the information being incorrect. He deleted the video and then was raided.
Yeah, that does seem to be the timeline laid out.
Okay.
I mean, it could be a little bit off, but close enough.
Right.
Making the accusation.
Either way, he was raided.
Ironic
It
they
seems
helped
specifically for the video.
Yes, and that's something Gilded Pooh's Discord is known for. Okay. Back with Lio, when Lio was against him, it was Queen Seraphina who was accused of fucking being part of the raid against his. This raid and shit, I don't understand why these communities do this. It's like, do you know? Okay, I understand it logically. I just don't know why YouTubers who's trying to take respect and aren't total trolls. I mean, Gilded Pooh's a troll, but Lio, why is he gonna raid back? It just seems insane. If you want to be respected as a predator hunter, and this was before his predator hunting days were kaput.
Gotcha. Yeah, it said January 2025, so the beginning of this year is when this happened.
Yeah. Good catch.
So I could see, like, from what I know now, from what I know of Lio's history, because I know more of his than anyone else, I could completely see him working with someone like Gilded Pooh, because Lio's Lio doesn't really want anything but control. It doesn't matter if it's the predator hunters. It doesn't matter if it's anything else. He's also shown himself to do scrupulous methods like trying to doxing people, taking down their videos unjustly so that he can get their information. He's a control guy. So butting up with somebody who is known for raiding servers and trying to put out false information, yeah, that seems like right on point for him, actually.
Yep, and there's also the Ace Base connection, who I criticized many times. Okay, the eternal minion.
Me to the same standard just a week ago. He's also the man that's gone on record as stating that people in my community were, quote unquote, talking about toddlers' genitals. Yeah, that's pretty gross.
We have someone in chat putting out total fake news. Do not believe anything Verquay ever say. He's also known as a troll. This is why he gets away with his shit. This is why he gets away with so much shit. And,
I know who VA is. I remember being in Spicy Chat when his mic was all fucked up, but he was still mogging Himpleton. So
well, Himpleton isn't the worst thing he did. I think the worst troll job is what he did to a kinetic Cal. Oh god, that seemed even worse. Well, Lyrics deleted that one stream. It really was a fucking weird. gangbang of this stupid girl who was a ladder climber. Clearly, I think she's gone on like Red Pill podcast since then. She definitely wanted attention, and she tried to get into the commentary community, and that didn't work out for her. So she's doing something different now.
That's fair.
So here's the context. It's someone recalling a possibly mentally ill woman discussing forcing transitioning on her unborn child, or that after the fact.
Oh yeah, I might have tuned this out before, but yeah, the whole claim about talking about kids' genitalia. Okay, and this is just talking. I saw fucking Lance from the Surfs pull this on Tim Pool. It's sort of funny. Okay, he's talking about a girl. No, I'm not a big fan of Tim Pool at all, but I'm like, Lance, you're a fucking moron. He's talking about a transition. They transitioned this one girl to this one boy too early into it. And I'm not a big fan of transitioning kids, period. But he was bringing up a legitimate point. And Lance is like, yeah, it's weird you're talking about you're so obsessed with kids' genital. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Okay. But this is what they're talking about. You want to read any of this? Or
is this, I guess, go back a little bit so I can hear what he was saying.
Okay,
again.
Yeah, we yap. Okay.
Before making the accusations. Little ironic they held me to the same standard just a week ago. He's also the man that's gone on record as stating that people in my community were, quote unquote, talking about toddlers' genitals. Yeah, that's pretty fucking gross.
Yeah. But it's a comment. You're responding to a guy with 1 subscriber in this video. See, he took the bait. He took the bait. What's wrong?
Yeah. Are you also touching kids? I mean, this is just
highlighting it.
Someone making a retarded comment.
Yeah, I mean, they just throw this little ironic. This is a little pathetic to bring this up unless other people bounced off of this also.
So here's the context. It's someone recalling a possibly mentally ill woman discussing forcing transitioning on her unborn child, or that after the fact.
Okay. Yeah, looks about right. Serafina now, monster escaped birth to a child. She strongly insists is female. Sounds like a transgendering. It's not sounding like they're talking about it positively, but he's using a quote from someone he hasn't brought up in the video, and I think that's a flaw with this video, unless it comes up with someone else. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, obviously he reacted to this one sub person when clearly the context is not that. He could have just ignored this whole section.
Unless there's some other place, and this is a deflection. It's a possibility this is a deflection point.
Oh yeah, I mean, now it seems crazy to twist.
Sorry, any more?
Oh, I said if information came out later that this isn't the clips of what happened, then yeah, I could change that. It happens all the time. I remember seeing Pirate Software make claims against Quintheo, and Quintheo showed the context, and it was completely baseless, even though Pirate Software had clips from the Discord, right? So anyone can do it, but for now, this just seems like a nothing burger.
Yeah, I mean, for now, yes, but it's still a gay op led by Gilded Poo, technically. Lio just pulled up on its heels.
The topic about a woman and her forced ideologies about her children into talking about children's genitals. And although this may seem crude to discuss in the first place, Gilded, you're the one that approves
targeted harassment.
So I find it odd that you weren't hitting me up for an invite to join in yourself. But I guess that's only if you're against someone you don't like. Or better yet, you don't know. Let me get this straight. It's okay to bring up topics pertaining to my child, but not someone you associate with? Because the way Gilded sees me and my community, a majority of you guys watching, as well as anyone who gossips about someone he's close to, he'd like to
kick their door down and shoot them in the fucking head.
One other thing I want to share on this matter, and although it doesn't...
Another mistake of this video, which I think is very crucial against him, is that he should have linked the videos he's pulling these clips from, okay? So his audience can see. When you're using these short clips, you want to actually link back to the source, or at least identify this. I understand why they don't do it. They're always worried about the accusation of harassment when they bring up the person or the clips. But I think it's more honest to link it and say, don't harass these people. I don't have much of an audience. If anyone in my audience wants to harass people, you're fucking stupid as all hell. And it goes against my ethos. Okay. So let me state that here. But any thoughts about that, War? Sorry, I'm used to talking.
No. You're good. I mean, I don't really have much to say to that. I mean,
you don't think clipping things will lead to harassment, War? You're pro harassment? I see. This is why you're a supporter
100%.
of Alyssa Marcante, right? Okay, you're
That's
totally
right.
helping them. Oh God.
I mean, the problem is it's a full.
Yeah, it's a double-edged blade.
Well, it's a common thing for people to not link the videos, right? And in any way, even if you put the links in the bio, most people aren't probably going to go down and look and watch the context of it. They're going to just listen to whatever you have to say. Very few people are actually going to go and look up the details. Plus, if he is being dishonest, why would he link anything that could prove him wrong? Usually, you could just look at a clip and be like, yeah, that was too short. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah, he might have been using. I mean, he's not actually really misrepresent. It looks like he's misrepresenting Gilded Poo, but no, he's not.
Right.
I've watched enough Gilded Poo to know he's not. He justifies his actions with trolling or some other rationale.
Directly pertain to Gilded. It did happen during his raid, and since it's been brought up several times since, I remember somebody asking me during the raid if I allow people to pay to mod on my server, and I told them no, and I thought the question was a bit odd. Well, they hit me with a gotcha moment when they screenshotted my Patreon tiers, and one such tier, Discord moderator. Once again, pretty damning evidence, but ooh, there's that context again. That tier is just a title, and not...
Just to let you know, I did watch Gilded Poo's video on this. It's one of the ones he hasn't deleted. All his videos on Lio are gone, okay, for some strange reason. But a lot of his recent videos are up. He had an excuse, something about SAT. Never mind. Let me not go too deep on it. It's just the logic. Fucking hell. But I can confirm this. But you know, it would be nice if he confirmed this in the video, because this definitely... I mean, I have some issues in my videos with this sort of issue, but this is really bad, even beyond me.
Okay, yeah.
But I can confirm some of the stuff he's saying about Gilded Poo, but people who don't know Gilded Poo, especially probably anyone in his audience, wouldn't know this. And it's definitely worth criticizing at least the construction of this video to do that.
Yeah.
Not so clever nod to a sweaty, overweight neckbeard, not unlike someone we know. In fact, if you bother reading the description...
Yeah, this is clearly a joke, okay? And Gilded did bring up this point for some... Well, he's a troll, okay? Fucking hell.
It says, no, you won't be forced to moderate my Discord, and as a pretty poor joke to follow, without a well-decorated resume and a pint of blood for science purposes. If you dig even further, not once in the tier rewards do I ever mention Discord moderation or Discord in general. Gotcha. Honestly, I've never seen such a group of bumbling idiots stumble so hard over every bit of context. Now, considering all evidence provided, I would never recommend or suggest any sort of harassment towards the people involved. But just remember to keep in mind what Gilded thinks.
I am in favor of harassment on the internet. I love cyberbullying.
See? Maybe that was smart to put. Same thing with Lio. He's fine with bullying people. He's on the record with that.
True.
A-Space is an interesting thing. I doubt you know much about him. For anyone who doesn't know, Veriquay, if he's still in the chat, would know plenty, because apparently he's obsessed with every guy who talks about him. I'm glad he's... No, let me not say anymore. A-Space, I first came across him when he was in a video with Clappy Seal against Zero Needs Coffee, because Zero Needs Coffee just turned 18, and he requested a porn from this one girl who might have been thirst trapping him, who was 17, I think, at the time.
Oh, God. Okay.
And yeah, technically it's illegal, you know, but the whole 17 to 16, but the porn that he might have asked for could have been younger. I forget all the details on that, and I don't think that was even included. it's a really stupid thing to do. And a friend's sort of trying to do this sort of intervention for him. It was Clappy Seal and Acer Hauer. Ace Space has rebranded at least 3 times since I've heard about him. And apparently he's raided Verquay's server before. And take a look at this.
All right, so this is Ace Space. He's a seeker of truth, and it doesn't matter what it takes. He wants to tackle the hard topics and make sure that the right people are held accountable and the wrong people are vindicated. He's an upstanding guy with a reputation to protect. So let's see how well that holds up against what I found. So Ace was the one that initially reached out to me. He said that he had some questions about the video, and I agreed, even asking if I would be bullied and jokingly responding that I wouldn't mind it. But he was clear that he wanted to keep it civil and on point. That really didn't turn out to be the case, as I was called a coward several times, as well as an idiot for releasing something that wasn't finished and had no proof of anything I mentioned. This is completely fair, and I was in the wrong. I definitely deserved it, and I'm not against receiving the same treatment I give others on my channel. My community felt a bit different about it, though, and as word got back to Ace, he reached out for a follow-up interview one-on-one.
I'm going to read this. You want to do an Ace voice? Try to think barely a teenager.
I'll read it.
I'll do it. Hey, I'm hearing you feel I took you out of context, that I wrongly criticized you. If you honestly feel that way, I promise to actually only do a one-on-one, and you can explain to me why you feel that way. If you do not feel that way, someone is claiming that you do. Oh, fucking hell. I swear. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry. It's about, I heard from this guy, so let me reach out. Come on. Blah, blah, blah.
I ignored it as I was pretty over this situation by that point, and I just wanted to make new videos. He was also nice enough to reach out to me during the raid and tell me how, quote-unquote, messed up he thought it was that all of this was taking place, and then proceeded to ask me for another follow.
Let me just confirm. Hey, Router, I would like to ask you some questions about what happened on your server, preferably on stream. Of course, on stream. Since I feel it's really messed up what happened in there, I would like it to be addressed publicly. I genuinely ensure everything, make sure it's not another dog pile.
Follow-up interview to clear the air. The pattern being that this guy really wanted me on his live streams. Why? Because I'm the talking and focal point of this entire discussion.
Okay, you had something to say? Sorry, I cut you.
Oh, I just said that just sounds like bait.
No, yes. This is what these people do. The Himpleton stuff, you can find it there. That's what they do. They do it hard. I mean, I put bait out there, but I don't bait people to get on a live stream to humiliate them. When I ask people to come on, generally, I want to understand where they're coming from. But technically, I'm not commentary. Okay.
So I ignored it. Afterwards, my mod at the time, Novax, makes an announcement blaming Lio and Ace for the raid. His friend Glass Raven reaches out for proof that Ace had anything to do with the raid, in which a moderator uncovers something incredibly odd. See, during the raid, my mod team turned on slow mode to stop the onslaught of messages while we decided how to deal with the raiders and attempting to make the server 18+. But someone was caught going against the mod's requests and creating a new thread so that people could continue to spam freely. So, if you didn't catch all that, I'll give you a bit more context. Ace reaches out in regards to the raid in saying that it was messed up. But then he's later caught disobeying the moderators and participating in the raid that he was so worried about. When provided evidence that he created the thread titled Nick Mullen's hard drive, I see what you did there, he denies any involvement or that was ever him. Afterwards, he would backpedal when Nick would ask him why he would do such a thing. To be fair, I think he's like Lio and he has a bit of an ego. I wouldn't be surprised if a majority of his followers do too, but
this is a stupid thing to do. Why are you saying, like Lio, he has the ego? You don't need that. You don't need that, man. Okay. Let the facts speak for themselves. Okay. It's clear. Do you pick up on that, or do I have it too fast?
No, I'm hearing it just fine.
Okay. Just making sure people are up to speed, because I pre-watch this stuff before I go over it. It definitely seems like Ace definitely had a part in the raid, or helping out the raiders do what they were doing. And he was disingenuous, as Router's probably going to say. But adding this stupid sort of like ego like Lio, which is stupid.
I guess maybe he assumed that he could say one thing to one person.
I mean, it might be true. Lio does have a sort of ego. Ace Space, more of a minion type.
Person, a different thing to another, and we wouldn't figure that out. All things considered, though, his deceit, claiming to care about the raid, then caught actively participating in it, and during all of this, He either never gathered the evidence himself, ironic coming from him, or he neglected that Gilded Pooh and myself had cleared Nick of his allegations the night prior. Because the very next day, he's proceeding to use the same screen grab to continue to paint my moderator and my server as a predator in a predator den.
This Netherless guy is interesting. So apparently, Router, I saw some of the reactions there. Like, this isn't actually him doing this. This isn't Ace doing this, but did he actually do it? One of the defenses is like, look, it's Netherless. Apparently, 90s Router server manager has put the blame on my buddy Ace Howler for the raid that's occurred, where a member was confronted for acting weird with a minor. Router himself has done nothing about this and has yet to make a statement. Screenshots below. Addendum ba ba ba. Okay. So read that out loud. Technically, this video is wrong, but is this something played on his stream? I don't know. Ace privates or some of his streams are unlisted, so maybe at the time it was. I like to verify things. I couldn't find this showing up on Ace Base's stream. He changed his name. I'm dead naming him by calling him Ace Howler. How dare I? So I'm giving additional context for what I'm seeing people cover in this video.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't proof that Ace put it out. This is proof that this person who friends with Ace put it out. I mean, could there be connection there? Sure. I think he should have better proof than just this.
Yeah, and I think it's a stupid point to even. I mean, he's trying to make a certain argument, which is probably correct, but he can't really prove it, so it sort of hurts him in this sort of context, I think. Just the optics of this video are all over the place. Oh, God. But I believe this was a gay op. Probably primarily set up by Gilded Pooh. Let's see his assessment on that.
Ace, I may have pulled my information from Kiwi Farms, but at least I'm not misrepresenting the information on purpose for clout. So fast forward 2 weeks later, and Nick reached out to Ace multiple times for a chance to clear his name. I'll remind you, something I did pretty quickly upon request for Ace, despite having proof that he was an active participant in the raid. And after a week or so of dodging his messages, Ace eventually gets back to Nick to tell him that nobody's thought about him in weeks.
This is what I hate. It's a dead drama. And Router, 90s Router guy is correct. Dodging people until you can make the claim it's a dead drama is one of the weakest things someone can do. Why is it a dead drama? Okay. Why, if new evidence comes out, why aren't you following up on it, dude? Because it's dead. Okay. You're just in it for clout. Got it. That's my impression. You have a thought on that?
I mean, you're not wrong there. See, I find it to be flirtatiously cute that you're willing to run your mouth about others, but are too much of a coward to face the people you talk about. Why even talk when you're this fucking spineless? Stop being a pussy. Stream about it.
Literally no one has ever thought about you in weeks. Dead topic. You can pick up. If you want to talk to someone else, you can have a discussion with Guilty, considering he actually called you a pedo. Having make thoughts clear. Continue.
No, I can't read the full thing of it. So now you're not interested. I have a question for you. You asked to stream with me, and you accused me of others have horrid things. I don't, and I can't read the rest from there. But
Share that the topic anymore. You advertised us and our server as being rather fucked up. You talked a load of shit that doesn't make any sense. Blah. You used out of context pictures to advertise me as a creep that talks to underage people. You owe me a little beta male shit. You owe me a stream. That's a little beta.
But Ace is being just as much a bitch about it. Like, if you're going to make claims, I believe if you're going to make claims with people, period, you should have the balls to get on publicly or even privately and talk about it. Though yeah, he's just using the excuse it's a dead topic because he doesn't want to get his ass chewed.
Yeah, and send the rules. I'm perfectly fine with that, but you got to realize when people are fucking with you, sometimes just there's certain caveats to this particular thing. You need to avoid just dealing with everyone. But if he made accusations and just used this to dodge, that's a bitch move in DMs.
Yeah.
And the topic is dead, which is an incredibly interesting phrase to use from someone who would have me on his stream for making such bold claims. And considering the topic is dead, Ace, according to you, a groomer is still on the loose. Why would the topic be dead? Isn't that something?
I didn't see that in the fucking DMs of Ace. I think he's making the same mistake. A groomer?
He did.
Okay.
Well, he did tell him that like he wanted to bring him on stream. What it sounded like to me was clearly he had some kind of gotcha, so he wanted to get the guy on stream. He doesn't want to go on stream the second time because he doesn't have a gotcha. He's been in the wrong, and he doesn't want that to spread. So he calls it a dead drama and just refuses to talk.
Yeah, it's just a groomer thing coming back up. I think it was more about being a PO. It's a semantic thing I'm picking on. Sorry. Your brain is tuned to the semantics of this. Sometimes it's stupid.
You and your community claim to care about. Let me wrap this up by making sure I understand this correctly. If I don't respond to you people, I'm a coward. But when Ace does it for 2 weeks to a guy he accused.
Oh God, I have to go back. This quick. Slan, let's talk. Well, where are you? I'm not seeing anything about being a coward. I just don't know why he's putting this on.
It was earlier. He said, well, he hasn't, I don't know that he's shown directly where they called him a coward. He did say that the guy wanted him to come on stream and he wasn't willing to do it. So,
that was the implication. Again, it's just more of the screenshots. I'm criticizing the video.
Mm-hmm.
And you're steel man in it. Oh, wow. I'm glad I brought you on, War. I like the whole steel man and approach.
I'm a coward. But when Ace does it for 2 weeks to a guy he accused, dude, I went on his stupid live stream the first day. Real interesting who you guys deem pussies.
All right, here's the
so
meat.
we made it to the man, the myth.
Yeah, overplayed.
The lion himself. It's Lio Convoy. So Lio's
Lion Man Bad 2. And just for anyone who wants to know, the title, Lion Man Bad 2. It's sort of a play off of Me Too. Because, man, it comes off badly, I know. I figured I would explain the title real quick.
Taken a backseat to the entire drama since the beginning, only appearing in live streams and interviews to comment on the situation or participating in my server's raid. And
yeah, he's the pedo expert, okay?
Can you go back to that?
Oh,
that, what? The clips have no where the
what where what when
where the screenshot was the screenshot
before here?
No, where he said he participated in the
okay.
You guys deem pussies.
I went too far back.
Yeah.
I'll let it go.
All right, so we made it to the man, the myth, the lion himself. It's Lio Convoy. So Lio's taken a backseat to the entire drama since the beginning, only appearing in live streams and interviews to comment on the situation or participate.
Okay. He has a lot of these. It's just
welcome, deleted, as well as a good mocking. Lame. I mean, these don't really say hi. I guess this shows that he was in the server at the time.
Yeah, I guess it establishes that.
In my server's raid, and only recently to call me out on YouTube.
Okay, here's the better one. I'll say this publicly since it's clear your staff wants to try and play hide and seek. I need to speak to you. It's important. I would rather speak to you before uploading what I need to. A veiled threat. If you choose not to, then I'll be on you and done my due diligence, which generally don't do.
This guy's so gay. Like this is like an edgy freaking teenager trying to sound cool. I've got stuff on you. He's doing the Batman voice while he's doing it. I've got stuff on you. If you don't come talk to me now, I'm going to,
yes,
I'm going to release the information. Like, come
Very
on, bud.
Mama Max-ish. I should have had
Yeah.
you do it. No, I Kumo's coverage has been fully. I mean, he has a lot of fucking videos on fucking Lio Convoy, which I encourage anyone to watch, even though he tends to be a little bit I hear transphobic. He's just rather a bioessentialist, okay, for anyone who's not aware. Okay, so prepare. I don't consider that transphobic. I just call that autistically biologically focused. But no, I've watched most of Akumo's videos, so I have the background on that. There's a lot.
I'll look at it next time.
Yeah,
Like, I'll
it's
look at
actually
it
definitely
offline.
worth a watch. Okay, most of his stuff is worth watching if you can take a little bit of his edgy boy act, which he'll admit to is cringe most times.
But as much as he likes to act as though he's innocent in all of this, one way or another, he's not. Whether he's calling the shots or making executive decisions, Lio's been pulling the strings for the majority of the time, even if indirectly. My audience's actions may seem reflective of me because
I don't think he can make this. I mean, I can believe he was backing this up and had some part in this, but pulling the strings. I mean, I've been called a conspiracy theorist. I think this comes closer.
agree in one way.
You thinking that maybe he's right?
I mean, there's.
I mean, I could
Maybe.
believe it.
Yeah. Let's keep hearing, and we'll see what we can come to with that. Hopefully, he shows something.
Yes.
Or another, or I've influenced some new traits. No, I'm not going to be held accountable if you do something terrible to the furry community and I actively make fun of them, but people will definitely cite me as an instigator and an influencer for your actions. And it's the same way that Lio has conducted himself over a near decade online. From yelling at children on Discord calls, mistreating and threatening a mentally disabled woman, he has incredibly narcissistic tendencies and is in Akumu's Liar Convoy, the full story. Well, it's clear that Lio has a tendency to lie or twist the truth to crop out just enough so that he can cover his own.
Yeah, I can confirm that. That proves it pretty well. Maybe I'll make that be the conversational piece for the Wild West thing. But let's continue.
Badass. It's one of the many traits that Ace and others would share with him. Now, Lio would have you believe that he's a changed man and that he would never do that anymore. I think he would even have you buy that the Rosa Call changed his perspective. But he's shown himself more than once in public, on live streams.
Oh, God. Yeah, I agree with this. I'm not reading all this shit. Okay, but yeah.
And if he's willing to speak to people like this in front of viewers, it's only a wonder what he's willing to do behind closed doors. Let me give you a few examples of the colorful language his followers exhibit. And keep in mind, most of these people claim to be at least liberal in one way or another. They definitely promote female empowerment.
They're not, okay?
Don't show me based stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
At least I know Lio.
I mean, yeah, this is just kind of moral frogging. I don't care what Lio and his friends say.
The language policing, okay? He's using that to bolster his thing. Okay, this whole Indo thing. Oh, God, such a fucking mess overall. Yeah, there's the base thing that I'm going to skip over. He censored.
Who support equality and diversity and acceptance? No. These people are more than likely mentally ill and using whatever movement fits their bias as long as they can use it as an...
I agree with that. Okay, I do agree with that. I'm not going to make that claim, but I can agree with that claim. Ha ha ha, because proving it, something you have to autistically deal with Lio. And he'll play stupid, as we saw in that one clip with Akumo.
Excuse to attack people they don't like. Now, Lio has admitted to having a young audience in the past, though apparently his server is 18 plus.
Even when I was in his server, he age gated it. I don't know why he's bringing this up.
As most of these communities are, but let's not act like anybody's checking IDs at the door. And unless you are, this 18 plus tactic works the same way as any website.
Oh, I can confirm that. He doesn't check IDs. Because who the fuck would give the ID?
Click 18 plus to enter or no to leave. SWAT teams aren't breaking down doors and kicking in teeth of liars, Lio, and I assume you know that. I only bring this up because although some of these people claim to be over 18 and even more of them claim to be in their 30s, This is representative of the behavior of a 14-year-old in a college.
Oh God.
The internet, because his cardiovascular system
Soy.
wouldn't allow it in real life. The most threatening thing about Lio is the toy sword he carries around under his belt. Even online, the majority of his predator hunting takes place in a room full of his peers.
Okay, that's all I need to do on this. If you want to watch this video, I think it's generally
Yeah, a lot of that was
okay.
just talking about Lio bad, which everyone gets.
Yeah, I'm just saying the proof that he was probably gay-upped by Gilded Pooh and everyone, A Space and Lio jumped on the bandwagon and sort of went lockstep with making this guy look like a fool. And even this video wasn't that great of a response to it at the end of the day. And there's a lot of fucking problems with the general thing. But Lio changing, anyone who believes that is a fucking fool. Okay. I'm going to put on this other thing that I don't think people will know about just because I want a complete coverage. There might be more out there, but I found a couple of things that I wanted to sort of highlight. Oh God, why all this control stuff? Ooh, you're gonna see pretty soon. This is another guy who fucking puts too many memes into serious things.
No, you don't understand. The feral porn was a joke. It was a goof. It's funny. Why aren't you laughing?
Ladies and gentlemen, you really thought it was over, but no. It's just getting started!
This shit makes me want to self-harm.
Just a heads up, this video is going to be completely unscripted, because I don't want to have to talk about Leo the Gunt or Doodle Diddle McDiapers ever again. But I guess I got to now, because my video clearing up...
Do we see this?
Yeah.
His video got taken down. Doodle's diaper. I think you can't actually... that's weird. Okay. He's blaming on Doodle's diaper for something I guess he covered. I'll let it play more.
My name got taken down. Why was my video taken down? Surely it had to do with me saying some edgy words here and there, and I would take that L.
That's a damn lie, and you know it!
No, it was taken down for P.
Child endangerment.
What? If you know shardy terms, I'm pretty sure you know what the word P means, but the big problem here is that my video never had P in the first place ever put into it. It did have video recorded evidence of a certain Ranny who's into Pampers pull-ups, admitting that they were role-playing as a illegal age character into single digits when they were 18 years old, and nothing on the screen was P, it was just them drawing in their shitty art style. And when I was given this notification, I wasn't even given a timestamp on the video on where this...
Yeah, very interesting. What it is,
Yeah.
review a issue, allegations, and Lio Convoy. No timestamp. Child safety policy. I think he establishes this well enough.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it got taken down for, and it's always weird when you don't have timestamps because it's like they just went in there and quickly did it. Did they actually?
Yeah,
why
this
not
probably
just
was
point out
reported.
problems?
Can we say it's Lio Convoy? No. Can we
No.
say it's even his audience? No, especially with this guy. Okay, he is edgy.
Illegal material that they're talking about was put. Something about this feels suspicious, and I'm not the only one that this has happened to. Akubu, who's been well known now for calling out the FCK for their suspicious actions, and the infamous Doodletones too, who was guilty of being in there and saying nothing about the terrible things that were happening in there for 4 years. So anyways, about a month ago, Akubu's video calling out Doodles for roleplaying like this illegal stuff on DeviantArt got taken down for the exact same reasons my video did.
On December 2nd, so just a couple of days ago, 9 days ago to be exact, I received a notification around 2 or 3 in the morning, if my memory serves me right, letting me know that the video was being taken down and that I was receiving a community guideline strike. Why? Well, apparently, the video went against the child safety policy, and that the video was being taken down because it had content that sexualized minors. Now, it's fairly obvious, at least to me, that someone went and reported the video for this. It got past everything prior. It even had its own transcripts and everything, so if there really was something like that, they would have noticed much more sooner. So I suspect, and I think this is the case, that someone went and reported the video for that, knowing that it would get it taken down. Because I'd like to note, for those that haven't seen the video, that it discusses Doodletones' roleplays, and some of those roleplays involve Doodle linking it down below.
Okay. Yeah, seems pretty established. It seems rather weird. Lio, Doodles, Tones, all that crap out there. Don't know what else to say on this. It's just, it's a rather a coincidence. It's Leo Convoy involved with this, and Doodle's tones, almost like cat's paws. Okay, I skipped ahead.
Low, and I may or may not re-upload a censored version. Again, I don't really want to have to go through the effort of having to go back and censor it when I'd rather just work on the Maxim, but I made a promise, and I need to keep that promise.
We both talk about the same things, I mean, for different reasons. In my video, I'm using these clips to talk about Leo Convoy's hypocritical guilt by association logic and how all the people that he hangs around with are sussy bakas too. Along with earlier on in the video, talking about how Leo and his cronies in the past were guilty of making people redraw a horse feral porn comment.
Okay, why are you having this shit on my screen? Stream.
When Cass brought it to my attention that it's a problem, I did my best to remove it and was told it was never going to be posted again. That is not implying that Baiji's sexually attracted to it. Well, it's a joke, bro. It's a joke. Shut the fuck up!
Yeah, these wannabe heroes totally didn't have a power fantasy, by the way. They were told.
Only they're allowed to make the jokes. Rules for me, not for thee. Okay. Because he's the predator hunter. Yeah. And there's this whole little section that they keep harping on that seems to be correct, but I can't double check, but I'll let it play. It's sort of the privilege of someone going over these. They can say, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard this multiple times from multiple videos about Lio with the tip line crap, which he seems full of shit of.
The missing child hotline is just a tip line, guys. The cyber tip line that is connected to the FBI. It's just a tip line.
I'm not asking any predator hunter to be someone's psychologist or therapist. We're not made for that. We don't have that knowledge.
Yeah, you tell them to go see a church. You see someone to go to a church. Go to church. I think he did that to a couple of different people. And fun fact, there are church-friendly therapists. I don't know how reliable they are, but I do know there are some people more religious who has their own sort of therapist, which their reliability, I can't attest to. I'm sure some of them are more science-based, but having suspicion about that is something.
It's pretty common for someone in a congregation to have some kind of therapy through it. A lot of times you're going through the pastor of it. Right?
Yeah, they do.
Marriage counseling is a big one, and things like that. It depends, I guess, on the congregation on how educated that person is. My guess is to be considered a legal one, you have to go through a certain amount to get ordained or whatever you want to call it.
Yep. And I'm not throwing shade at some things. Marriage counseling, if you're in a religious household, sounds like a good idea. But mental health therapy, yeah, they used to throw think it's demons and exorcise people. And I'm sure even the church has gotten better with that. At least most churches. There's probably some that have it.
Sure.
Barely have the knowledge to do predator hunting. I hunt pedophiles. No, you don't understand.
You understand why I hate wannabe commentary dude to just do this stuff for clout, right? Just a reminder to anybody watching this video, go to the IC3, go to the cyber tip line. Do not go to YouTubers about criminals as much as they want to.
Yes.
Never a truer statement hasn't been said.
Okay. It definitely seems everyone who just goes on YouTube, just, oh, fucking hell. It seems like they're doing it for clout. It definitely does. It's the easiest thing.
Oh, it's 100% for
it
clout.
doesn't feel like a
or authority of some type. Okay. See, getting viewers isn't necessarily the only way. Some people would rather have power within communities. Okay.
Well, how do you get people into those communities? By having viewers that push them to your communities so that you can, you know, because people like to gravitate towards, dumb people like to gravitate towards a pedo hunter, right? It just sounds easy. It sounds great. But then we look at someone like Lio, who has tried to get someone to record their own rape.
Oh, you heard about that? Yes.
Oh, yeah. I told you, I know Lio. Okay. I know a good bit of Lio lore.
He came up with the sort of thing with his old buddy, the guy who he later had to out as a abuser and probably a groomer and pedo, but Vita. And I might have missed it in my previous thing earlier, so I'm sort of backtracking. The sort of, if I'm remembering correctly and skipped over it, otherwise I'm rehashing this, that the sort of safety calls is what got him arrested. He wasn't
Got
arrested.
Lio arrested?
No. Vita, the first pedophile, he had to out. Old friend who was a pedo. He had to out. Him and Vita were the ones who suggested that they record it. I've watched that recently.
Gotcha.
Okay. But yeah, the health checkups is some way to sort of get the police to check up on them and possibly get them arrested. Supposedly it was a health checkup, if I'm remembering correctly, that got Vita, which is good. Okay, in that case. Maybe it was good in the other case. I don't know why I'm rehashing this. I'm just like, did I bring this up earlier? I don't know.
Coincidence. We both talked about doodles being suspicious for similar reasons. It both took some time for YouTube to notice anything and actually act on it. And both takedown reports have the same reason in them. Coincidence? I think not. Now, since Akumu brought a little theory in his video about how the art commentary community is trying to suppress any bad information about them getting out there, I'm gonna bring my own little schizo theory to this. Now, here's my main theory. I think Doodle Tones is trying to make a comeback. My second, more out there schizo theory is that the art commentary community, the ACC, is still trying to suppress anything about the FCK server getting out there.
And at this point in time, correct. I agree with this theory of his. I don't know about the Doodle Tones stuff. I'm sure she might make a comeback. Who the fuck knows with that shit? Will anyone care? I won't. Okay. I'm sure some people will milk her. Maybe she won't come back because milking of these people is excessive nowadays. But yeah. Any thought about these theories since you have sort of followed up with that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I just saw something that off screen. Apparently, I've been tweeted by Grums.
Oh, you got retweeted by Grums?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
so,
very nice.
sorry.
Very nice. Of course, of course. What did he have to say about
anyway.
you?
Oh, he's talking about my tweet where I went after Sandy Peterson, and he's being a tourist. I'll get to him later.
Oh, with your D&D
anyway
stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoops. Was this about Cass trying to rizz up a person who were freshly 18 when he was 27, and before they became an illegal adult, he was using them in gay ops to catch predators? First, you Doodle being the furry version of Doodle Tones and giving me these mixed...
Well, there we have another thing of gay ops being big in the scene. Okay. Gay ops is common in the ACC, at least from the Lio side of things, the predator hunters. I don't know how common it is for some of the more upstanding people like Harley, TBS, or any of the other ACC autistic losers. I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is that I don't know a lot of those shitters in the ACC, so it's hard for me to make any. Like, I don't even know about this FTC server or anything about it. So,
what the FCK? Okay,
FCK server.
I can give you the rundown. That's what actually ultimately took down Peaches. Is she lied about the sort of shit that went down there, and she even talked sexually around a minor who was in the server. The server was set. It was set up to take down Akumo. Okay, here. Let me put out a sort of schizo theory that's supported by sort of facts. Is I think, frankly, the reason Ponder went so hard about Akumo, he was an edgelord. He was being rather right-wing based, as the kids would say, I guess. And this was all why Ponder was Ponder, Tech. Okay. I'm getting the names mixed up. Tech something. The one that they are coming down on him for. But yeah, that's the one Ponder sort of kept quiet about having a hard drive with underage explicit images of someone who was like 13 or 14 after he turned 18 and not getting rid of it for a few months. And there was more stuff that came out in a Toastify video that's suspicious at the very least. But yeah, my schizo theory is that they wanted to distract from this by creating drama elsewhere, artificial drama. So if something came up about their friend, they wouldn't cover it because they have this other drama going on that they would cover. Have you seen that going on? I mean, I've noticed that.
I can't say much about that. I don't know a lot about the Ponder Akumu stuff. It's really hard for me to believe something that detailed, because most of these people on the internet are just, just people who aren't thinking past the next video. So no, I don't think so. It's just whatever hits the algorithm, people are going to cover. And it's like I said, I don't know much about the Ponder Akumu stuff.
Okay, let me give you a comparison. Yeah. Like when people were trying to get the word out about Grums's Ember 8, they find basically other things to hyper focus on and really not even bringing that up until it really comes to a head and people force the issue and they sort of dodge it. You've seen that in the culture war space, right?
Yeah. They're going to ignore any drama that's anything. They're going to try and ignore the dramas that are
focused on them.
Bad. Yeah. Yes. And so that's an internet thing that happens constantly.
Yeah. I'm not saying this is specific to the ACC or culture war. It happens almost within any of these networks where a group of content creators get together and talk about things. They'll focus on certain things, so certain things about them won't be picked up by the algorithm. And anyone who does talk about it, they get drowned out by all the other noise they're making. That's simply all I'm saying.
Yeah, I just don't believe that it would be like an intentional thing. I believe it's probably more that this thing happened to come up and no one wanted to talk about the other drama, and so they focused on it, right?
Did you know when Babs brought up on side scrollers about Ember, Grums's game Ember, they sort of started losing viewership after that for a while because Babs talked about that. Okay, so she broke the bro code. Figures the chick. There's a sort of exiling thing if you do speak about it, and again. This is in almost all communities. You break the sort of rule and you sort of slowly get out it. They'll stop going on your shows. They'll stop associating with you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. That's any community, I think.
Yeah, that is most communities. Okay. The larger the community and the more influence, the better and more effective that tactic works.
About I was like 16 and groomed. When in reality they were 20 when they made the disgusting F list. 3 of them, in fact, and I was given that info by a Senate bootlicker called Bloomy, and the only person that I could even vouch for was Cedric, because he admits he had a safe word filter on and gave me multiple bits of evidence where he never did favored barrel porn in the first place, and your whole argument against him is that he's a schizo and followed people that made that stuff when you don't have any proof that he ever saw that stuff in the first place. Because if you have your safe word filter on in Fur Affinity, you can't see that stuff. Not to mention the whole stuff with Grimskull, me, and Foxton, telling Moomin in DMs.
Okay, it gets a little bit to group dynamics here. And that's basically the out of there that I thought I would include in this particular matter here with Leo Convoy. There's actually a lot of other things. Like this whole, let me make sure this is muted before I look through this. Because what inspired this is I found his original video. I'm just going to put up on the screen that got taken down. So there's a re-upload thing here that's too autistic to really go into. And he fills it. He fills it with a lot of stuff, but it got taken. He just re-upload here. This whole channel. You got to love archive channels. Okay. There's a lot of interesting little nuggets here. Anyone wants to take a particular look here? Let me make this. Like you see a lot of old Gilded Poo videos, responses. defending Akumo. I meant, oh fucking hell, defending Kumo. There's even the ZV call with Lio. But let me put a little bit of this and let me let you know what you think about this sort of thing. It's utterly useless. But I mean, would you rather do this, or would you rather take a look through the Lio Convoy full story by Akumo instead? Because this is just weird.
If this is weird schizo stuff, I would probably rather watch the Akumo full story.
Yeah,
he
but
at
it's
least
hour and a
seems
half.
to be more. Oh, we don't have to watch.
But you can learn about the FCK,
Yeah.
a little bit about that. Let me get this section here. Probably, I might as well do it at the beginning. We'll get to this bump in the stream. We'll see how long this goes. Anyone in chat wants to come Royal Rumble? Let chaos reign if you want it, but I'm only going to drop it if people are interested around. Okay, we got it on stream. Okay, might as well do it. That's up on stream. Oh shit! Share tab. Okay, let me go back.
And how the Senate went about it. Hopeless Peaches was also there, and afterwards I asked Peaches about the FCK. She claimed that she didn't remember much and then immediately left the server. Early 2023, and Slammers gave me the Discord server of the FCK, where I learned that Peaches was more involved than she let on. I want to note that as early as March of 2023, Lio knew I was making a series talking about the FCK. On April 1st of 2023, I and Lio Convoy apparently called on Discord, and I say apparently because I'm kind of astonished myself by this. I was scrolling through my archives and just stumbled upon the recording of it. Me and Lio discussed quite a few things, though it was mainly me yapping about all of it. We talked about Nezzy Monster because at that time I was trying to get a phone call with Nezzy, talked about the FCK server, the fact that I had it, and some of the things that went on in the server. And I also talked about other FCK member Discord servers, such as Madlib, ZZ, and specifically Fuchsia Butter. Now, I'm not going to play the entire thing. It would add way too much link to this video. But I will, which is interesting because Madlibs and Nezzy then later wanted to say that that was very wrong of Toasty, but said nothing when he was doing it.
See, there's a lot of context that you need to get into this whole series. This is the problem with watching through one of Akumo's. You need to be a dedicated channel to follow. Beckett actually did this, I think, a lot of it. Okay. I mean, he had more reach. I'm like, good for them. They're getting reach from someone who's has much more practice with this. But let's see what's this biggest bump is, at the very least. Most replayed. You always have to wonder why certain sections are the most replayed.
I'm working on getting in contact with Peaches and someone who can hold her accountable with what you sent me. I'm telling you this for two reasons. One, it'll be important for later in this video. And two, this conversation went on to inadvertently prove my suspicions about Lio. 2 or 3 days before my premiere on the FCK server, shit hits the fan. Adlibs put out a statement, and in it mentioned Doodle tones in the Kirby roleplay. Doodles did not like that one bit, and made a video about it, to which I will also be discussing. Another piece of information that I'd like to share with you. Keep in mind that my premiere on the FCK server was set up February 22nd of 2024. On February 23rd,
I have to wonder if trying to put this as a premiere was bait from Akumo, because he got a result from it. That you wouldn't know about this. You set up a premiere sometimes. Yeah, if you want to expose something. So I'm thinking maybe this was bait to get Lio to do a preemptive response to try to get ahead of the story. Just a small little theory.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing from fucking Akumo here, but putting it up as you're going to expose these people and you have a group of people trying to make sure you don't get exposed. Yeah. And yeah.
Robot shared my TISM report with Lio Convoy in the DMs. Lio's response is,
this is quite interesting. Just the robot
TISM
stuff.
report speaks about the FCK.
Akumo
is a scumbag. I'm going to snap him in half the moment I get it.
Akumo is a lot of things, but he was a POC miner who was lied about by big channels. Correct. I don't agree with a lot of things he has done, like what Jar. The purposely ignorant also follows that, man. All of them follows the purposefully ignorant. He has a better excuse than others, but it's still purposeful ignorance. I think he has more of an excuse than some of the more competent people as they present themselves. But he has the right to defend himself from lies and slander. He hasn't groomed anyone or posted lolly or anything. I'm going to have to take this down. Yeah. No, he just actively hangs out with pedos and zoo. This is Gilded Poo, I guess. I don't even know who he's calling a pedo. Gilded Poo is a lot of things, but
I mean, that was a common thing, a few years ago for just people to blatantly call people pedos because the internet would jump on top of them.
Because they're into lolly. Lollicons are definitely weirdos, and there's a high probability they might have some interesting pedophilic instincts, but God, we not get into it. What I can't read this last part. Fuck off.
Akumu is a scumbag, and I'm going to
he's going to read it
the moment I get. Later on stating that I hang around pedo and zoo defenders. Lio in the Senate want to talk about intentions, and yet why is the big bad lion man so angry already? And showing that he intends to use guilty by association ahead of time. Well, fret no.
He does. He loves his guilt by association, but try to pull on him, you're just being disingenuous.
Not, because you'll get your answer in a little bit. On February 25th, a day before my premiere, I want to make it known that these are not the only events that are important to take place on the 25th of February. More information about that day will be brought up later, so keep this in mind. And the reason I'm not getting into it now is because we did...
Oh, also with I'm wondering if this has the sort of context we went over earlier, that they were beefing on Twitter. But that was all for show. They were cool behind the scenes. I'm wondering if this is in that time period.
Yeah.
Okay. That, I think, really hurts Lio's honesty claim. Him admitted, oh, yeah, publicly we're doing this, but we're really cool behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's gay opping. Oh, look at this drama that's happening. We're milking drama. We hate each other, but then you're not. It's like,
yeah.
Why should anyone trust anything you say? Who else are you friends with?
It also might be a baiting tactic. Maybe at some point they wanted to act like Crystal Flame was up against Lio Convoy, so people who were against Lio Convoy would go to Crystal Flame and try to get in her graces. No clue on that. That's just me theorizing there.
Yeah.
Know about these events until March 13th, and I want to keep this video as linear as possible. Hopeless Peaches puts out a Twitter thread to take accountability, leaving quite a few things that happened in the FCK server out of the thread, like the fact that she made a joke about how the porn being sent in could result in exposing them, or that she entered a voice call with Toasty Vanilla jerking off, and that she later made a drawing of her and Toasty Vanilla bathing one another, and that she returned to the FCK server later when Toasty Vanilla invited her again. It was this same day that Lio admitted in the DMs of someone named Laka that he had the FCK chat logs for months, and told them that I was withholding them from everyone. In fact, he messaged Laka because his spy informed him of Laka joining the FCK server. Lio himself was not in it, having these chat logs and a spy in the server, and the spy in the server no doubt would have told him that I invited 2 other people in the server to help collect evidence. And yet he's claiming I'm withholding it from everyone. Since Lio's had these logs for months, by his own fucking admission, a few questions come to mind. He's accusing me of withholding them from the public, presumably. Yet he's had the logs for months and never released them himself. By his own fucking logic, he's done the exact same thing. And if Peaches was truly interested...
Yeah, this is where people lose me. By his own fucking logic, why don't use your own logic? He's a fucking bullshit artist, okay? He does all this fucking 4D chess behind the scenes. And when he gets in the call, as brought up earlier, and I could go over more, he'll play dumb, put someone else into the spotlight as a bigger fuck up.
I mean, there's probably some truth to that, but I don't think he's playing 4D chess. I think he thinks he's playing 4D chess, but he's actually playing checkers.
Okay, I can accept that. Yeah, he thinks he's trying to play all these games behind the scenes, and fucking hell.
As many times as he seems to get called out for this behavior, I mean, if you're good at it, you wouldn't be getting caught, right?
No. But he's managed to find a way to be the lesser of two evils in every case. Like with Peaches, threw her under the bus, even though that sort of video indicated that Peaches went more in alignment. That doesn't mean that what he said isn't true. She could have just been one of these people who attached a morpher who attached herself to Lio and started doing content around his sort of style. You know, what do you call those sort of people? They latch on to people and sort of take on their personalities. There's a term for them.
Leech.
Yeah, sure. Let's say a BF something. I don't know.
Okay. In that taking accountability bullshit. Why did she wait until a day before my premiere? Am I to believe that Lio never mentioned and discussed the FCK chat logs with his favorite adopted daughter, Peaches? Oh, wait, no, his only adopted daughter now. The whole time he had these logs? And if that's true, why didn't he? Since he cares so much about accountability. Any excuse he could offer only prompts a new question. It was the same day of my premiere, the 26th of February, and a video on some random fucking issue that Doodletones had with someone else. That Lio, of course, quickly rushed a segment at the end to discuss me and the FCK shit. In it, he first claims I'm the false accusation supreme.
They're not the only freak in this server, though. This server is owned by someone named Inlaw, a person that initially came on the scene because they got upsetty spaghetti that Peaches called out the gross actions of Nyx and Jackie in the Glitchtail chats. Truly.
And this whole thing, it might be a personal pet peeve. Actually, probably not. It's just, they always say, you're just angry, okay? This is why you're doing this. Why does everyone do this? Do people actually buy this shit?
Yeah, all the time. That's how Lio has been able to get to where he is
No,
today.
I'm saying cross communities. You saw this with McDizzle and fucking Grums when he exposed Smash JT for having insiders. They're like, he's just mad that they won't call him out. And I'm sure you can find other examples. It's like a plague, just saying they're just angry. Like, why should we listen to you? Okay, you're sort of diminishing this shit. Sorry.
It's just a tactic. People will say, you're angry, Bo, you're angry. I'm at fault of saying the same thing sometimes, usually when I'm going back and forth to people, but no one can tell emotion through.
Yeah, it's like retarded. I mean,
Yeah.
it can be, when you're shit talking people on the internet, I understand that. When you're just fucking with people, yes, you're not taking them seriously. You're just fucking with them. I can understand that more, but when you're trying to sort of dodge serious claims like this seems like rather stupid way that I don't know why people buy it when it comes to serious claims. When it comes to people fucking online, but sometimes they point to things online to prove they're just angry.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, pet peeve of mine. It probably is a general internet-wide tactic. Why should I point it out? Oh, yes, because it is something that's done.
The best of priorities. Her server has such hits as Carve My Name Into Your Thigh, Girl, and Fox Mafia associate Kumo, zoo porn enthusiast Gilded Poo, former Fox Mafia member North, and hanging out in Kumo's server with Inlaw is the latest false accusation supreme himself, Akumu.
Then says he draws the line at lying.
We'll get into him later. You know who else is in Inlaw's server? Conundrum. Nice company he keeps. What, did you think we wouldn't know? One of the longtime members of that server came to us the moment these freaks started joining to tell us what's going on. These people care so little about victims of predation that they'll release a call some fool gave them that he had no permission to do, completely disregarding the victim's wishes. Because they care so very much about what's right. Now, let me address the Akumu comment. I'm not going to deny that Akumu was done wrong in the past by ArtCC people. If he wants to address that, he can. Specifically some comments made to him by Miss Zizi. However, I draw the line at lying.
And then says that there's a reason I won't release the logs until after my video drops. Because it gives me the control of the narrative.
There's a reason he's not going to release the FCK logs until after the video drops. It gives him control of the narrative.
Oh, how fucking ironic. What narrative is that, Lio? The timing of when the FCK chat logs are released won't magically change the information in the server that anyone and everyone can see with their own fucking eyes. He has the chat logs himself. He could compare the chat logs to the screenshots in my video to see if I doctored or altered anything, but I didn't. The only altered screenshots that are in my video are the ones that have porn because I have to blur that for YouTube. Trying to control the narrative would be never releasing it. Trying to control the narrative would be withholding the logs until you absolutely have to discuss it, like you and Peaches did. Trying to control the narrative would be rushing a sloppily made last segment where you project your own faults onto someone else so that none of your audience sees you for the liar that you are. But let's keep going.
We, however, had a...
Let's not. Okay. Yeah, watch this if you want to get the Kumo. If you want to see someone just shit talk him, goddamn Malcolm. He's the soy sauce side of things.
Yeah.
And sheesh, sorry. That's all I really fucking got. This is why I don't stream. I'm like, that's what I wanted to go over. Is there really much else to talk about with this that hasn't been done to death? I just wanted to point out some of the things, some of the underreported things, even that terrible response by that 90s router guy that I went over.
Mm-hmm.
You saw what you were actually steel manning him at a few points because I'm hypercritical with those certain videos. And I'm sure I've made some of the same mistakes within my own videos, but he just hammed it. He admitted that he's hammed it up. I don't understand why some people do that when they're doing a response.
Well, he's trying to be sarcastic and entertaining, and that was just the whole first part of the video. I mean, I think he missed some points in that video that just kind of missed for me, but it does show at least a clear. It adds to the idea of Lio being, kind of involved in some things and the things that he has done over and over and over again since really the beginning of his channel.
Yeah, and anyone sort of saying he's changed without actually having any proof. That is probably Beckett's biggest sin, is going to bat for some of these people and listening and believing. Kumo fucked him over, obviously. As I said, he came on. He sort of backpedaled on the sexual things for Jar. That was my main point. I don't think Jar really... What's your thoughts on that? One of these motherfuckers, internet adjacent, wanted to have a debate that he thought it was he literally was... I don't know if you got too deep into the Jar stuff.
I mean, I got fairly deep into it around the Cine Bear stuff. I haven't seen anything really recently on him. I mean, I saw the stuff where he's made... I haven't seen a lot of his response videos. I've been watching a lot of commentary, honestly, lately.
You're better off for that. There was one internet adjacent who wouldn't debate me. I just don't see it being a sexual thing for Jar. Okay. But these people, I think the reason commentary does that is because that angle works better. Just like the sort of thing where the ACC focus on minors. It doesn't even have to be grooming or any sexual predation. If you expose minors to anything horrible, you're a horrible human being in that, even if it's unintentional, or if they have to gay up to make you look like you're exposing childs to an unsafe sort of environment. This is why Akumo actually does age verification for his fucking Discord, because I'm sure he still have people doing gay up sort of attempts on him, because he's still continuing.
I mean, you get burned, you do things on that once. If you want my opinion on Jar, I do think it's sexual stuff. It's clear that he makes jokes and says it's the whole hey, you want to go sleep in the bedroom? I'm just kidding. But I mean,
there's like one comment there that there's a couple comments here and there that I can see that interpretation. Okay. But the context around the sort of Cine Bear, not the Cine Bear, the Mali malware stuff seems to be a reach. I just don't think there's enough there. I don't think he's trying to get into any of these girls' pants. Okay. He just has this sort of edgy image. If you see the FCK, they are much, much more explicit. I think it's him just trying to fit in with his community, the sort of masking thing. And they do a lot of the sexual humors to a way higher degree, understanding the sort of group dynamics, which is hard to fucking figure out. Okay. We can agree to disagree. I just don't think he's trying to get into these girls' pants. Okay, and it's a sexual thing. You think he is? Fair enough.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's enough there to say that, at least accusation-wise. But we're both going to have a different bias there at the end of the day. I think he really fucked up with the Cinny Bear thing. But do you not the sort of the sort of backlash even after he recounted with that, the sort of harping on him afterwards? You think that was over the top?
I think no, because he kept responding to it. If you keep responding, people are going to keep responding back to you.
Oh, right? I understand that logic. Okay, I just think the response his first was the going on Chud logic. He made a fucking fool of himself. People brought him on and did a fucking public fucking flogging of him, and he didn't respond until like 3 months later with a big video, which was completely horrible.
Yeah, I know he went on Chud Logics. Who else's stream did he go on? It was
Ace
Himpleton,
Space
wasn't
is
it?
the Himpleton? Yes, he got gay out by Himpleton.
Yeah, he got gay out by Himpleton, which it just didn't end up in Himpleton's favor.
No, nothing does. Okay, even Himpleton's recent Parlo stuff, I'm like, really? You're having Parlo come on with all his shit? And he's trying to curry favor. Himpleton's a funny one.
Yeah.
That
So.
fuck. Anything else surrounding this? We have Leo. I'm finishing up with Lio Convoy. Lio man, bad too. I think it's easy to be a pedo hunter and be righteous. I don't think he's really changed his behavior. He's just modifying his behavior in a weird fucking way.
Sure. Like for me, it's and of course I don't know the guy personally.
No.
But he has a
really.
clear pattern of behavior over his career. So why would anyone believe that he's changed for the better? You would have to like it's not even something like how does he prove something he's not doing? And so if unless someone comes out with something, another video here recently, maybe he is quiet and just like I don't even know has he made any videos lately?
Streams. He streamed. He's done some streams on me. Lio Convoy. Yeah, and I haven't actually checked them out, nor do I really care. He's left me some rather interesting comments. Okay, if you want to fucking watch him go over,
if I'm gonna make a judgment based off of I see it. Just a Robot, aka Jar's strongest soldier.
Oh
Martin tries again.
FDS Diesel a lot of them responded on it. I don't think Beckett or Chris the Narc has responded to it. I think because it's too boring. I find that as a cope excuse. Okay, maybe it's boring. I actually was fine with people being frustrated with that. That wasn't as tight as my first video, but I didn't actually make that. I made that video because of a comment that's in. They're like, I'm trying to defend him. No, it's clear people want my opinion on the harassment narrative, so that's why I made that video to make my thoughts clear, give all the context around it. Maybe it was boring. Okay, about that. Yeah, and I also went over last stream. I went over a few things, but more Beckett focused. What do you think about Beckett's involvement? He's getting fucking struck by what? KP? That woman seems to be on a striking spree. Okay, she's butthurt. Okay, that everyone's clowning on her. At least that's something you don't want to do. Striking everyone who did a response video to you. It's insane.
Well, yeah, but I don't know much about KP. I have become interested in it, but I haven't sat down and like watched anyone's coverage of what's going on. All I remember hearing was she's the one that put out the 1,000-page docket trying to prove her innocence or proving her guilt. I was never fully.
Oh, it's a mess. Basically, she announced this one video that she was going to do about something, and she put an accusation about Saberspark, a popular person, an accusation that seems to be bullshit. And she's not accepting that her video was that accusation is bullshit. And she doubled, tripled down. There's a lot of mess around it. So, but
yeah,
still.
yeah, it's drama that I want to look at because I do enjoy watching shitter drama. It's like a pastime of mine.
Yeah, more people are going to look into that also. At the end of the day. Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm out of material. You can go back to what are you doing on your channel? Are you going to continue streaming on your channel?
No, it's past my normal stream time, so I will probably stream tomorrow. Going over some of this D&D stuff, especially now since Grums has added me to his post, and he has me blocked, so I can't respond. I'll have to just,
bitch.
Copy or screenshot it and.
Yeah, I don't have the chops to really call people D&D tourists. I played a bit, but no, I don't have the credibility in that field to really do it. I'm an amateur at that. I wouldn't tell anyone in D&D what they should do and what they shouldn't do at the end of the day.
True. I'm being more hyperbolic when I say it because it usually gets someone attention and they come in and arguing. And sometimes I can get a good conversation out of it, sometimes not. But anyway, yeah, that'll be me tomorrow. I'll be up there.
Yeah,
I bet you play Rogue.
I think I actually played a Druid last time.
Oh, nice. I figured you'd be like the rogue in the corner in the dark by
Why
himself.
is everyone putting me in as a rogue? I actually the last campaign I had, I was actually oh fucking hell. I think I was a celestial warlock. I'm trying to think. I think I was a celestial warlock. I'm like a healing warlock is a cool idea I always wanted to try.
Yeah.
I was a tiefling celestial whatever. It's been a while. It's been way too long. But yeah, done. Lyle Convoy. Goddamn Malcolm pretty much dogs him. Sai occasionally says things. Fucking Akumo is still going strong. A lot of his coverage is much better than anyone else's. Okay. I think he proves it pretty well, even if he is a fucking edgelord and you can't stand some of the other shit. But I could be wrong on that.
I'll look more into it too, just because it interests me. Like that's kind of what I came on anyway. I was like, oh well, yeah, this is an interesting subject, so I'll hear what's going on. And like I listened to the call with Beckett, and I rewatched some of the Lio content, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just wanted to at least address a little bit of the stuff that wasn't covered by Lio Convoy at the end of the day. Yeah. Which was crappy. That 90s router guy had a completely shit show. Yeah, he was probably gay opt, and the other guy, what was his name? Silver Fox, that was weird. I mean, he was proven to be struck and blah, blah, blah in the stream. I'm really not built for this. Peace. Yeah. You already plugged your channel. Did you want to say it again at the very end? Not that anyone's going to watch this.
It's at Wargaming Dad Live. You can come on by. I like to yap and talk about anti-woke subjects, woke subjects, weird shit on the internet, and right now, D&D.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that, man. I might pop up in your chat and mostly just crack jokes. Maybe at your expense, maybe at my own. Who the fuck knows? Peace out. Bye-bye.
Peace out.